no different from the rest. You said I'd fly away, but my walls have kept me down. Now I'm lost and I'm afraid, and I'm close to hit the ground. You said I'd fly away. You said I'd fly anyway, but I keep on falling. You said I'd fly anyway, but I keep on falling. But I keep on falling. We're all searching for that open door. Show me proof that there is something more. I just hope I am okay with the choices I make. Maybe then I'll understand. You said I'd fly away, but my walls have kept me down. Now I'm lost and I'm afraid, and I'm close to hit the ground. You said I'd fly away. You said I'd fly anyway, but I keep on falling. But I keep on falling.
Up all night by myself, trying to think of ways to you. Your voice stuck in my brain, we never got to see it through. And I know I feel more pain if we're speaking truth. Cause when the daylight comes, I still lose. So will I feel it again? I just don't know. And I'm hoping I'll find a way to let go. So if you love me, how could you leave me so low? So will I feel it again? I just don't know. I just don't know. I just don't know. Cause when the daylight comes, I still lose. So will I feel it again? I just don't know. And I'm hoping I'll find a way to let go. just don't know. Looking back at our time, hoping that we did it right. And give me any reason to call you up late at night. And we know it's for the best, I won't put up a fight. Cause when the daylight comes, I still lose. So will I feel it again? I just don't know. And I'm hoping I'll find a way to let go. So if you love me, how could you leave me so low? So will I feel it again? I just don't know. I just don't know. I just don't know. Cause when the daylight comes, I still lose. So will I feel it again? I just don't know. And I'm hoping I'll find a way to let go. So if you love me, how could you leave me so low? So will I feel it again? I just don't know. I just don't know.
Let me stay with you. In us, can you? Just one night. I don't know about you, your life. But tell me 'cause we still have time. I can't stop looking at you, but do you feel the same, don't you? I think of you every moment. I think of you every moment. I can't stop looking at you, but do you feel the same, don't you? I think of you every moment. There's nobody else. There's nobody else. There's nobody else. Let me stay with you. In us, can you? Just one night. I don't know about you, your life. But tell me 'cause we still have time. I can't stop looking at you, but do you feel the same, don't you? I think of you every moment. I think of you every moment. I can't stop looking at you, but do you feel the same, don't you? I think of you every moment. There's nobody else. There's nobody else. There's nobody else. From a place of hardship to a place of ease comes a place of flourish. In return, it's for a reason. even say it. Yeah, I don't find time to debate if I deserve growth or if maybe I should preserve coping by hating you, adoring you. And say what you want, but I'm not okay with my brain anymore. I'm not okay with the way that I cope. Hardship, misfortune, so maybe before, maybe before, maybe before, maybe before. Find the time to celebrate, reason to admire my trials. I need to find myself in quiet before I can.
Guys, welcome back to the last day of World Esports Championship 2023 Africa Regional Qualifier CSGO tournament. We saw a lot of good matches also in the female version, in the male version of this tournament, but there is only one match in front of us. This match doesn't gonna change anything really, because we saw yesterday Mauritius taking both matchups. I mean, both teams, they take a win against Namibia 2-0 and they take win against South Africa 2-0. So that means this team is already qualified to the main stage of the tournament, but just for the rankings side of things, we need to figure out who is going to place on the second and on the third spot. It's going to be Namibia taking on the South Africa. We also know the veto is going to be South Africa picking Vertigo as the first map, then Namibia picking Ancient, and the third and the side map is going to be Inferno. I really don't know which of these teams should be favorite in this. I think both of these teams kind of show up against Mauritius, but none of these teams was able to actually take map from them. So I think it's going to be a very close matchup. We can also maybe see the third map play out here. But as I can hear, our casters should be ready to take you into the first map. So it's up to you guys.
And so people could just pick people they're close with and then they just choose them.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back, of course, to the IESF. We're back, of course, with the Africa, or the South Africa region, I should say, but a match that kind of doesn't matter too much anymore for the spots at Romania, unfortunately. But I'm still Jesse, your Dutch boy, joined by Titler, and we have one more beautiful best of 3 to wrap this whole tournament off and see who, as our little guy in the studio says, of course, the second place of this group will be chosen today.
Yeah, this is going to be very interesting. Of course, it's a second place matchup, only 3 teams here in the Southern African region. And the first spot has already been given away to Mauritius, who's already beaten Namibia and South Africa. I'm pretty sure it's pretty clear on what's going to happen. Just other than that, South Africa and Namibia haven't played each other. It's just the final game, the round 3 game. It means pretty much nothing at this point, as you said. Just
Mhm.
wondering, I feel like maybe just to get, some style points or maybe get a consolation win or just get a win out of this tournament. You came in here to obviously try and qualify for the LAN and Yash, and, you haven't possibly quite gotten it. At least maybe just get a win here at this point.
Yeah, true that. I mean, these are the lineups, of course, that we are actually seeing, and now everything turned into to be determined. But no, it's been cool to see it. The group, of course, qualified team is in fact Mauritius to do so. Both teams have been losing 2-0 versus Mauritius as well. But we've gotten ourselves one more best of 3 to fill, 2 more 0-0 numbers on this little bracket screen that we have right here. And as we speak of the maps, of course, in the studio, it was already set, but we're starting off with Vertigo, the map pick from South Africa. They banned away Mirage. I was very excited to see Mirage, actually, because Namibia looked good against Mauritius. But South Africa has watched, has taken notes, and does know that you would rather not want to play Mirage against a side of Namibia, because they looked quite stellar on that one. Now Vertigo we're going to see is popping up first, then Ancient and Inferno. Let's see how it's going to go, because the first kill is already taken for the side from South Africa. They get themselves first kill on the board, and so an A side opens up.
This bomb time will go down here for Joshi. They're holding this down, but there's already a flanking gone in, but there's plenty of numbers, and actually, that's a good kill to find. There is an immediate trade on forward as, well, some of these players do hit the deck, but now Joshi has to hold things down himself, reloads for the first, and, well, the easy, it doesn't seem like it's too easy for him, as he gets taken down in the end. Subsequently, South Africa will take the 5th round.
Great stuff, starting off good on your own map pick, good on the T side, of course, because Namibia has chosen the Seedley side to work with. What we saw yesterday as well, a little bit coming out, and Tiddler, of course, you weren't there, but I'll walk you through with Namibia mainly. They were good on Mirage, but then when we went to their own map pick of Overpass, which was then like their kind of second favorite map, I would have to say, because they didn't pick Inferno as well, right? So not the little puggy maps that are going to be picked because of it. So I kind of feel like they're going to be a potential Mirage one-trick team here, where as South Africa is going to be having a little bit more to do. But then we're moving into Ancient, of course, as a map pick from Namibia next. Also a little bit more of a puggy style map, so let's hope that's a little bit of a playbook for the side from Namibia that they have written for that, because they gotta be striking versus this good playing so far South Africa.
Yeah, South Africa just getting on the board pretty early on. They're showing their individual prowess, but this is going to be the first real test for them. The guns are going to be back out, and as you said, just walking me through the previous results out of this event, it's been interesting, actually, this entire IESF regional qualifier as a whole, because I've been able to do kind of half of the region so far, and we've seen like so many different teams here. It's unbelievable. First time I've seen the likes of Namibia and the likes of Mauritius, and I'm pretty surprised that Mauritius got through, but we'll get back into that as early kills there. Ace ramp control being held, and Namibia are taking things down. Spitfire peeks through, is good for a second, but Zephyr to get the trade. And Joshi, well, he's all the way in T-spawn, but suddenly he's all alone.
Yeah, 1 on 3. Look at those entropic stickers one more time as they just shut down their CS division.
Oh no.
Very unfortunate to say the least, but they're seeing what they're going to be doing in the future, of course, and so are these two teams. South Africa, of course, and Namibia, both a little bit of a mix out. The selection stage came in just to have these players now play out, and things are looking a little bit better now for both of the sides. It looks like they're finally going to have Namibia on the board. They will find it as well. They're going to pick themselves up the first one. A funny thing as well, Tiddler, because me and Stromace were yesterday casting, of course. We saw Mauritius and Namibia, and we were checking how many players actually play Faceit for those countries, right? Or how many Faceit accounts are there with the flags. And Namibia, I think they had 52, and Mauritius had 48 in total, right? So they've really been able to pull up, even though Mauritius is like a pretty small island, right? 950 square kilometers, kind of. So they've really started to make esports a big thing for themselves. And it's great to see that. They're limited players, but still creating so many options for such a great region.
Yeah, and the LAN as well. That's going to be really nice to see, funded. They're going to be able to fly over. And a big LAN, there's some big names. You have some of the major finalists, heading over to Yash themselves. You know, the likes of, well, Broland's not playing. I don't know who's playing because, you know, you might have Ema from Gamer Legion having to play ESL Pro League. But yeah, there's unfortunate things like that. But still, very, very high tier land from a nation like Mauritius. But we'll see what happened here in round number 4. That's a bit of a labor spray. Spitfire not able to find that first kill. And there is going to be a bit of mid presence going to shine through for South Africa. They're going to pierce their way in, spot the head, but the FAMAS has done plenty of damage, and they're holding things down pretty nice here in Namibia. Once they've gotten the guns, they've been relatively steady.
Yeah. Flash is a little bit of a hit and miss player, I believe. A game against Mauritius, he has had one game where he fragged out big time, and one game where they kind of lost, which he might have been the player to. When he stepped up, there might have been a chance, but now he's been able to do so, at least with that second kill. Not able to pick up the kill here through the mid side this time, but 25 seconds, South Africa need to make a play. There's still a nowhere on the ARP. He's watching. Flash comes in, so he has to swing right after that. Flashes to support, but missing the shot, just barely missing the mark. He's able to find himself at least the first. We're trading back and forth with results in a 3-on-3, and Titler, they've been able to take the site with great success.
Great success, but the retake still has to come in. Low HP onto Pleb as well might make things a little bit difficult. P9T to find the first. Joshi now peeking through, but that's a flick and a half. Just to take that low HP down now. Rando left standing in a 1-on-3, but he ain't standing for much longer. An easy enough retake out from Namibia. South Africa not getting good enough post-plant positions, in my opinion. A little bit too far in the open, despite all 3 players being known to come in from CT. And I think South Africa know that completely. They're going to call a tactical timeout upon this.
I think it's never smart to stand tall behind that E-box yourself, like close there. Maybe as a CT, it's still a way to, you know, keep yourself alive, but as a T in an afterplane, you're going to be a sitting duck all day long. That's what happened right there. South Africa needing to sustain themselves a little bit more. Calling a tactical pause for that because they're in financial troubles now. They might lose out on quite a ton. In my opinion, the favorites for this event coming in, considering they were the ones to, you know, be on the LAN last time or be in the actual event. Whereas now, they might still be dropping down to the last player inside of their own group. And that for a country like South Africa would be a devastating play. Let's see how Namibia is still able to continue. As they've so far, in all honesty, been playing fire.
Yeah. Pretty much how it's been so far. South Africa, though, this time will continue on to their mid-presence. Down to a bit of an eco. As you said, they need to take a little bit more of a cautious approach, you know, playing the E-box position, that post fan, especially when you have low HP or a little bit unstable, isn't always the best play. But this is why I like to see poking and prodding. But that's a beautiful first kill to find by Namibia. And the easy, that's a beautiful shot to follow up as well, as Spitfire hits the deck. And the rest of the players falling by the wayside. That is a beautiful way to open things up here for Namibia. And Boy, this is really, really clean so far from Namibia. Once the guns have been out, it's been a whole different story. South Africa haven't really gotten near them. Sure, they got that bomb plant last time around. Joshi might get themselves a little bit of an inkling right into this round. But the way Namibia have been playing, they should be able to shut things down in no time.
He's a trade for XF, thinks of falling off the map. That's very unfortunate. No. He was around the sandbags position. No way you're going to die there. No way you're going to lose the round solely because of that. South Africa being given a window. Give them a finger and they might take your whole hand. At least Joshi is trying. See it pushing to the edge of the smoke, but it's easy to still hold on. He just continues to wrap up. 4 kills in this round. Up trot back and a bomb re-picked up, but no real time to make a play. Alien Nation are running into the mid side where Cassie is just waiting for him with open arms. Trying to grab him. A little bit of an awkward spray, but in the end, the kill matters. And it's confirmed. Namibia taking free and the lead.
Yeah, as you were just saying, pretty nice round out from Namibia. You know, it looked a little bit shaky if you look at the individual numbers itself. You had the player just jumping off and kind of falling by accident, and then you kind of had that nice deagle shot out from Joshi. The rest, though, we kind of just flushed that out. Those aren't things that will happen every round necessarily, so not a problem in the end for Namibia. Might affect their economy a little bit. You know, you have nowhere just on $50. South Africa are going to try to do something that will kind of just strike them in the chest, and that's going to be a bit of a faster play. But Namibia, as per usual, they're just so ready to these sort of things, and they're going to drop a Molotov to just enclose South Africa just early on. But they're not going to stop. The utility going to be raiding in on here into the B-bomb site.
Ooh, little boost. Little play, Plap. He's going to try to be the one to be boosted up soon. They're a little bit awkward still of where to go, what to do. Now Spitfire is going to be the one to walk up. Will he see the op? Will he spawn it? Should have it, and that's nowhere falling down. Great shot to start of the round. He's looking to string up the second. The Easy is still joined in though. Has been able to find multiple times, but in this round, it doesn't seem to be the case. And so South Africa, good on the triggers. Mainly Spitfire, of course. Joshy watching their flanks, so they should never be around in the media stakes all day long. But with the flank getting catched, there might still be a chance.
Might be indeed. This booster could be the game changer. South Africa do peek in, but they're playing a little bit more reserved. This is the post-plant positions that I would have preferred out from them in round number 4. Round number 3. Spitfire holding from the orange boxes, but allowing Alienation to hold it down. Now spotting out the heads, and Spitfire there to chime in with kills of his own. Support flashes to come on through, and Zephyr says, you know, I just want to get out of there. I'm not able to get this clutch. And South Africa, finally, this is going to be their first rifle round, the most important. And this is a perfect time to get themselves on the board. You know, not too early, but not too late.
Yeah, I mean, tying things up here on the T side, in all honesty. Vertigo, not a map where you would necessarily see too much of the CT or the T side being favored, more towards the 50-50 department. But on the other hand, what we saw yesterday from Namibia was an overpass where it's more of a little bit of a tactical map rather than that Puggy map of a Mirage. They had some trouble on that T side, so that might be something where South Africa is going to be able to find more success on. And those are all things we have to take into consideration. A fast push here from B90 takes a lot of control. Joshi waiting around the corner. This is basically just a stare down here, but who will peek first? Who will have the longest breath? And it's in fact B90 to still peek, but for some reason she doesn't seem to kill it. It does some damage, but it's not enough to redeem the kill. The Easy has dropped down from the ladder. Does seem to get caught on the trigger. And so, P90 down to low health. A 4-on-3 created. A whole lot of chances here for South Africa.
Whole range of possibilities for them. But I feel like we'll need to see them pick up the pace because, while there's only one player into the bomb site, there will surely be rotates coming over here if they do take their time. That's a good wall of smokes to be dropped on in. Namibia are going to be stuck in between a rock and a hard place on the A-bomb site. 50 seconds ago, so plenty of time here for South Africa. That Molotov is good, but this bomb could get denied. It will do so indeed, and he'll be able to fall back right into cover. A Molotov not even hitting the mark as well, getting extinguished by the Molotov, landing a little bit too deep. Nowhere trying to exploit that gap, but Mango nonetheless still getting that bomb down in the second time of asking. But there has been a trade over. Namibia still in the disadvantage. As that bomb starts to tick away, the pressure will still have to come in. The question is, do they really want to challenge for this? The money not looking all too great. I don't know how the loss bonus situation is right now. I'll have to see how that affects it. But Spitfire holding the angle. And it seems like Namibia really don't have a way back in. But maybe if they get this rifle kill. But Spitfire perforates him through the wall. And now it's a 1-on-3. He's able to get a bit of a tag up. Able to get a bit of damage. But other than that, this round is over and done with. Nothing more can be said. South Africa getting this round in a statement.
I thought Mango might have just died there, but at the same time, stays alive with just 7 HP remaining. And yes, you said, yeah, this is a statement. One tactical pass was all enough. A few ecos here and there, and now a full buy. But they have been able to start stringing up for a second. Money starting to be built as Namibia is not in the best of positions themselves now. 2k on every single player, at least saving up for the next. But this is given over. Round number 8, this side of South Africa, 9 out of 10 times. B90 an early peak, that might be helping out. He's going to relay the information over, and now they realize the urge of the situation. Probably going to start going into the A site. Just stick together. That's probably the game plan South Africa is having. Against pistols should be great. Will this boost be able to do a whole lot of damage? I think with the crouching players still coming in, or at least falling away now, they could have been able to catch off here and there, 1 or 2, but with Mango now squeezing in, I think they did good to fall down. But still, Cassie is out in the open, will get taken down nevertheless. Mango looking in for a second, gets it done. So, South Africa in a 5-on-3, create a whole lot of chances for themselves to win this round, as the eco round does not get anything done. Namibia doesn't get a single frag in this round, and that's how you take an economy advantage right there, Titler.
That is indeed. That is pretty much another statement being let out by South Africa. They've really picked up the pace in the past few rounds. You know, those gun rounds, those initial gun rounds, the first 3 rounds that Namibia did take on the board, as you can see on the round history, were pretty one-sided, to be fair, in the side of Namibia. You know, some rounds looked a little bit closer, but I feel like those were often mistakes in Namibia. But this time around, South Africa are taking the rounds, like, from the very start. They're taking it from the very start, and you can see it in the eco. They're being proactive, taking all these players down, and this isn't a good buyout from Namibia. They were on a pretty much a harsh reset, so they're going to be out with absolutely nothing into this round, really. A half buy. There's a trade, but he's getting blocked. That Teagle now looking menacing as ever. Picking up an AK for his troubles, but that all pulled in the back lines. That MP9 doing a lot of damage, able to find that kill. And now a 3-on-3 situation here as that bomb is just dropped right outside the opening.
Ooh, they cannot pick it up. Alright, they have it at least. Alien Nation, I think he wasn't going to be able to do so, but they do in fact make it work. Now steps are being made, but does Nowhere realize there's a player right around the corner? I think he does, as he's kind of waiting. Now the bomb tap will come in. I don't think he does. Oh, he could have been the one trying to protect the B side, walking into the hands of Plet right there, or whoever it is. Joshi, he's already waiting. Swing will now go through. Nowhere still good on the trigger to find himself the frag, leaving a 2-on-2. It's up to South Africa to play together to find those 2v1s. But the shadow is seen. Sefa is going to spot him. But when he watches up, it's Pleb to trade him. Now he's in a 1-on-1. Has seen him once more. This break can come in. It's Nowhere to come out. But does he have enough time? I think he barely has it. Namibia. They're taking 4, I believe. Or is there enough time?
Oh, it's so close.
Close. He has it. Oh, barely.
Oh.
Namibia.
Yeah.
Great stuff.
Yeah, I was a little bit scared for the time because, of course, with the circular timer, once it gets to that 9 o'clock position, you'll be thinking, oh, does he have enough time? But he barely did. And again, around the fine margins coming through out here for Namibia. But that's a good way to get things opened, you know. They didn't have the best weapons in that round, right? So it's always good to be able to get back underway, and then getting the guns out this time around. This will only help your economy and put South Africa slowly on the verge of an economic reset themselves, and if they do so, they could be on the course for getting possibly 7. They'll set themselves up for success to even go further than that. So this round, I feel, it might be a tide turner here in this first half.
Might be the difference maker, but in fact, will it be? Spitfire trying to watch on top of the smoke. Nowhere coming in with a first kill. Out of Nowhere as well. Good joke you make right there, and that Namibia entry taken. Another shot on top of Mango collected. So a good start converted into a possible good finish already, as things are starting to look a whole lot harder for South Africa to win this round.
Yeah, dropping a lot of utility as well, the CT side. They've been doing that quite a bit just to block off South Africa from any passageways. It's not something I've seen a lot so far out from teams throughout this qualifier. I did take a peek here, and maybe I have been doing it a lot. They've been doing it on the B-bomb side. They've been a big, you know, proponent for doing so, but they don't really hold that. They just hope, you know, that's a wall and they won't walk through it. But South Africa are kind of just disrespecting it completely. And I feel like this is the right decision here, because Namibia might just end up shifting bodies away from this A-bomb site. They stayed put here this time around, but that Molotov is perfect. It gives away a little bit of information. A pre-fire out from Alien Nation, because that position is pretty much well known. The AWP though trying to chime in, but it's a distraction, so that Pleb can peek in himself. Will jump right up. But Cassie, oh, that is so, you know, he's so aware about that position. That is so good out from him. Zephyr has stayed alive for such a long time. He's gonna spam away, do plenty of damage. Easy, he's able to find that. It's now a 1-on-4 here for Spitfire, and this is a brilliant holdout from Namibia. Very tall task, a very tall order out from this man, but if there was one to do it, it could be him. But I just realized just there, simply having no time. Gonna just back away, try and save that AWP. They'll be able to get a buy, but it might be a little bit labored onto Joshi and Pleb, but at least someone's able to drop him.
I mean, we were so into it, right? The round, we were thinking the clutch maybe coming through, but then that stupid time, why is that even a thing, right? Sometimes you just want to continue and see those clutches raining through, but For now, not the case. 5-5 created, and so far, this little show match, as it can be called as well, right? Because in terms of the points, it doesn't matter. I guess just regaining your own country a little, hoping that you're just going to be able to win against the other country. I think everyone has dreamed once to play the national team of like a football, right? And now you're doing that with your favorite esports title. It's a very great opportunity to show yourself off, and Spitfire, he definitely wants to show himself off while winning the op duel against Cassie, creating a 5-on-4 situation straight off the bat there for the side from South Africa.
I'm really impressed so far by the mechanical skill out from both sides. You know, they haven't, failed mechanically. It really just has been those other types of mistakes that have been creating rounds for both sides. Of course, they're not going to play a game without mistakes. That's not going to just happen realistically. But, I'm really impressed. Both these teams really giving their all, I guess, even though this game pretty much doesn't mean much. That's always nice to see here, especially on this first map of Vertigo. Very technical maps being brought out into the Veto. Not so much Inferno, but Vertigo and Ancient to get things going. Very, very interesting. Now Molotov kind of blocking them off a little bit, but Alienation now. We'll see P9T peeking through. Oh, that is so fast up from P9T. 1, 2, and 3. Finishes them all off. And Pleb from the back lines. He is known. Namibia not going to allow anyone into this speed alongside as P9T with a 4K in the round. What an enormous holdout from the man.
Yeah, they're great on their aims right now, and that was something missing yesterday against Mauritius mainly. On the map of Mirage, they knew their insta-smokes, they knew everything, but once they got to a point where they had to win the fights, that's where Mauritius came out. You just completely shut them down. This time against South Africa, they're able to win most of the fights themselves. I'm still thinking about that T site, whereas I'm a little bit scared for what Namibia is going to show us there. For now, things are looking good. We're having ourselves the close game we have hoped and looked for. They've given us that. Namibia still be having to be careful though, as there's already an Alienation pretty much close. Taken out by Cassie. Pushing to the A side, probably unwrapping quite soon as the push is coming through. Easy, once again stringing up yet another, falls down on the trigger, and now it's just Mango remaining. They're stuck to a rock in a hard place. They will in fact fall down. Nowhere shuts them down, and so Namibia, they've been able to do so continuously, stringing up rounds, and the dream for them continues to become the second team in the group.
Yeah, this is really impressive out from them, and I feel like they might be ruining a few of the rounds that South Africa were able to win. They got 3 on the spin there, South Africa. And if you think of it, it could have easily been a little bit more one-sided for Namibia, considering how these rifle rounds have been going for them. But it doesn't really matter. This is just really good so far. Really putting the pressure on. And of course, we have our veto, and this is a map pick of South Africa, so this is a really good start out from them. And oh my goodness, again, Namibia, you just can't expect it with them. Getting those 2 opening kills like that, they're only going to be good for getting more. They have the one-way smokes. They're really dominating South Africa with these tricks and stuff, on their own map pick.
That's good to see. I really do enjoy what I'm watching, and I hope everyone at home is doing too, because we're still here, just watching some beautiful Counter-Strike here in the Southern Africa region. A kill there for Pleb, Joshi, finding yet another. And so, actually a 3 versus 3 created. Still a chance for the South African side to come back. But will they in fact be successful, as they're slowing down a little? Namibia seems to have chosen to stick together. Playing from the mid side, of course, just to first of all catch on the flank, but second of all, they can give up a side, play it a little bit retake, as they do have kits, 2 kits available. Now with the money pins all thrown in, they realize what's happening, they realize what's up, and that's a B site that's grabbed. The front plant that will come in once again. South Africa, the chance to take those better off the plant positions, this time not stuck behind the E-box, but stuck behind the smoke, creating some more chance for themselves. They're falling away, just back into safety, as the smoke has been thrown. P90 tries to be the one to make an entry. Following up through, a flash is good. The peaks still have yet to come in. There's still more flashes to go off of. Spitfire this time not with an ARC, with an AK. Good on the fight as well. And now just Cassie remaining in a 1 versus 3. To the box been sprayed. The quad position checked. And a 3-on-3 retake, not allowing a single thing for Namibia to happen. And it's South Africa that goes back to winning ways.
Back to winning ways indeed, and we enter the final few rounds of this first half. Wondering how the economy will be like here for Namibia. That loss bonus going down to a minimum. If they lose this, you know, I'm just trying to look at what their money situation will be. I think it will be okay. Actually, it won't be all too okay. I feel like they'll be scraping here. But so these are must-win rounds because South Africa, they could possibly overtake and get the lead. Might get a 7-8 scoreline for South Africa if they're able to win this round. And that's where I said Namibia might be ruining those previous round losses because I feel like they kind of had that in their control, but South Africa just plucked it away from them. That's what you like to see out from the South Africans if you're a fan of them, but maybe not if you're a Namibian fan. But we're seeing this ramp control early on by South Africa, just taking control of the extremities at the same time, making sure they don't go out of control those battle areas, just to keep the rotate, you know, safe and sound rather, not kind of switching between A and B and kind of just walking into a gamble stack every time, keeping them honest. And the CT's nowhere, able to find the first kill to open up proceedings. Now a peek on from Alienation, trying to return the favor, but simply nothing been found so far.
No, it's tough. South Africa might want to try and accelerate, crack the code. Critical play needed, mainly for Spitfire, but Cassie still just waiting, towering up there on the A site. Like a turret, just waiting for it. So, another player will hit the deck from the side from South Africa. Through the short side. Maybe a play coming in soon. Mango needs to be the one to step up. This one, he could be helping out. This might be what helps out. Looks like they might just crack the code a little bit. At least enough for now, but just 20 seconds left though, Titler. They gotta make a play.
They do. An Alienation trying to pierce his way in, but the HP is so low. The EC has taken control, but he's jumped up, still found the headshot. That might be the round tide turner, it seems. Plebs able to get that bomb down with 5 seconds to spare. No denial on him, but the HP is so low. One of them finally down, but Alienation, he's going to be the decisive player. He's still on 72 points of health. He might spot the head of Kazi. This smoke is dissipating. That up shot not going to connect. Spamming away. This is going to be a battle of a lifetime. Not quite going to land in the spot, but that Team Molotov is perfect. Peeking forward. Kazi's taking Alienation. That's an important frag, but the up of Pleb is able to hold it down. Now he knows the position here, but he's starting to stick the bomb. He has the kit, but he's gotten off of it. He decides to go away, but that might just be his mistake. Wow. He's going to have to save and concede this round. That is a wild round to give away. I feel like he had a chance there if he possibly stopped.
It's really happened, right? Fortune favors South Africa because nowhere doesn't go for that stick. And that's just very unfortunate. That's the point, right, with Namibia. They're under so much pressure. They do want to perform. Maybe one of their first times actually playing here inside of the inside of tournaments like this. And they are getting tested quite big then by a team like South Africa, and things like that do seem to happen. Oh boy, 7-7, all tied up. The tactical pause being used there for Namibia. You saw there as well, like Alienation. The smoke came in. He was like, I'm in a comfortable position. But after that, he was stuck there for an eternity. Onto the short side and couldn't really grab too much hold of what was happening anymore. Stuck there. Thinking, is there going to be a flash coming in or not? And that thinking is going to make your aim a little weaker. Your reaction time. And he couldn't find the kill fast enough. Gave Namibia a chance, but we all saw Titler came from it in the end. Not a round win for them, and South Africans have a chance to win the half.
Yeah, this op though posted up. This is a chance still for Namibia. Although they had some concessions, this op's been saved over and it's been able to do a lot of damage still in the round. And he's opened up, found the first kill off to the races here. Again, an advantage found by Namibia, but it's been a matter of just being able to convert them. We'll see how they do as it's executed onto the B bomb site. Possibly looks to come, but they've just stayed put. They've just stayed in the stairs, not quite advanced up, but finally they have the flashes to come on in. Nowhere holding it down. Perfect angle to be held, even switching up once more. That bomb dropped right in front. Bit of a struggle now for the South Africans. That flash is going to be good, but still that bomb's not going to be picked up. Kazi's able to find that one. Joshi peeks on through, getting a trade on forward, but it's still a 4-2, looking heavily favored here for Namibia.
This is where they're tested. Are they able to pull through, or will there be still a South African victory to win the half? Kill has been found, so at least a chance created. But Namibia with 3 men still waiting on the triggers themselves. They've no flashes to help them out. They're all just waiting. Nowhere has been able to peek out. Misses the shot, but then Cassie is there to help him out. to, in fact, redeem himself from the miss he made earlier. Now they know where Joshi is. They've hit him. They heard that hit themselves, and nowhere is like, I'm just gonna peek in. I don't give a damn. And wins the half Namibia. This is the point where they're gonna get tested. Are they good enough on that T side against South Africa? This is the half to prove themselves, because otherwise South Africa is gonna roll. Because this is their map pick. They're prepared for the city side.
Yeah, completely prepared here, and they're actually going to call another tactical pause upon this. They really want to get things going. You know, I feel like they might feel, especially with your map pick, you'd be expected to be the more refined side on the T side. Maybe South Africa aren't too happy with that. Namibia, to be fair, you know, they got 8 rounds, but 7 is still pretty good. But I feel like now South Africa, they'll have to make a push early on here. Because when you're on 8 rounds, even though it's only 8, it's only single digits, if you get that pistol, you get the conversion, suddenly you could be on a 12-7 scoreline, and that's a lot closer than you'd imagine.
And one thing, the T-side economy is a pain to work with as a CT, right? Because winning 4 rounds is going to get you, like, some people might also be already on 10k, basically, right? It's incredible how fast they can go. And then you're in a whole lot of trouble, so it's a great task for Namibia to do so, but at the same time, if South Africa picks up this pistol, we might be seeing the beginning of the end.
Yeah. Look at this there. Moved away into the B-bomb site. This stack of South Africa was towards A. Alienation might be in for a pleasant surprise. Right side generator smoke gonna drop on in, but nothing to pair it as well, so I think its function rather is not really to block off an angle, just to be able to peek all of them at one angle at a time. That's a lot of bullets being let out, but those dualies not finding a single damn thing. Joshi is the one to perforate the skull of one, but now a peek on through by Kazi. They'll try find things right back as nowhere here with the Glock, looking to get things going. Peeking through, damage dealt, Spitfire found, and he's able to find 2 as well. Now down to a 3-on-2 situation. Peeking in again. Bomb's going to be tapped. The pressure is going to be found here for Namibia. They're trying to find whatever, but no one's on the bomb. But now it's only one player left as Spitfire gets that kill. He peeks through boldly. Fortune favors the bold, and that's what Spitfire has been. South Africa taking a second pistol as well.
Wow, that's great. Spitfire doing it single-handedly there, picking up 2, and then after that, he recognized there was no one around the white box anymore. His team was checking. He checked the wood area, which means they're on the ramp site, and then just fighting, of course. He missed a little bit of shots, but was the one trying to be that human shield. After he reloaded his USB back up, he was there to find the final 2, and with the AWP, with the USB, it all doesn't seem to matter because Spitfire is just an absolute beast. Continuously able to bring success. Now Namibia going for that full buy. They realize how close they can get themselves if they win this round, but at the same time how far they can be when they lose a few more rounds. So really good that they recognize the urgency of the situation. But this round will be important for both of the teams because the winner will not only take the lead, but potentially a good chance to get yourself into double digit and further.
Yeah. Just have to see what happened out here. South Africa, of course, are going to propel themselves forward, and after winning that pistol round, that's only going to benefit them. Smoke early on. As per usual here, just taking that A-ramp control, dropping a smoke to block these off. Both teams have been doing that relatively often, which is, of course, not, you know, special to this map of Vertigo. We do see a lot of teams playing it, you know. Just getting that A-ramp control, but as that smoke dissipates away, that MP9 is going to get into battle, possibly if it does decide to peek through. But playing a very long-range angle here, so he's going to decide to back away a little bit so that that angle could be used for short-range battles itself. But that's a really weird battle being taken out there. Just a long-range one indeed, but the rifle's working out. Zephyr even a catch-off. Joshi, that might open things up on the B-bomb site. And now it causes Alienation to rotate all the way over into the B-bomb site, put some pressure on. That smoke, though, going to land right in front of the stairs side, but he's the only defender here. The Easy's able to hold things down. He's able to take Pleb down. And that's 2 players on the B-bomb side, but up against 4 players. That's going to be a huge struggle. Alienation taken down, and that is going to be the round secure as ever, and it's not going away from the hands of Namibia.
I really like it what Namibia did there. That smoke from Alienation, you see various players. I mean, from my own experience, of course, from my matchmaking, whenever there's a smoke, for example, or from my phase of games, whenever there's a smoke, they don't rush through, right? There's no way. Some teams think it's a wall, but Namibia thought, it's just a smoke. We can walk through it. If we trade each other out, it's beautifully done. And that's exactly what they did, Namibia. Not allowing Alien Nation to get anywhere near. And then they just sprayed him through the smoke as well. Like, it was absolutely nothing. Smokes are not walls, and that's something Namibia have realized quite early. The sun is shining through, and they've been able to find themselves their 9th round now, and that's going to get them a possibility to go double digit, because even though Mango has saved himself that lovely M4, they're going to be stuck with possibly having to go, now that I look at it, a force by their double eco territory. This might be 11 all of a sudden, if they win this. Oh boy.
That's exactly what I was talking about. It might seem like it's not too much rounds on the board when you get 8 rounds, but before you know it, getting a few conversions, you get yourself in that double eco territory, then like I said, you'll get to that 11 or 12, and that seriously is pretty close to 16, and where you get things into dangerous situations. So you just gotta be very careful here if you're South Africa. Just gotta play your cards right. They're gonna force buy into things because, of course, like I said, it's in that double eco territory, but that's a perfect way to start.
Bye, easy. Not given a chance. This boost is still good, though. This is something where we might be able to see South Africa picking up a 2nd kill, and so a very comfortable position for them, because Nowhere probably has no ID. When he jumps, he fails. When he walks up, he feels as well. He's kind of checking it left, right, and center, but still losing the duel. That's a double entry. That's South Africa in a very comfortable position all of a sudden.
Very, very comfortable position. And with that M4 being, you know, so versatile, it kind of can rotate over, and it can afford to do so rather in, you know, a more normal round, because of the fact that, you know, they kind of have nothing to really lose here. This is the forest buy. No one's really expecting them to win this round. So that M4 can afford to just swing around, move around to the different bomb sites and be present wherever. That's where the main problem lies. Namibia going in for the more tighter of the 2 bomb sites, which is the B site. But look at the angles that South Africa have decided to hold. Surely this Deagle's able to get one and just dwindle down the numbers even further. As a smoke look to run on in, we'll have to see P90 clear out this right side angle, jump through, taking a lot of damage to Mac 10, but there's a player onto the left side. This USP finding the full HP player and taking a second. Oh, who would have believed this would have happened, Dutch boy? South Africa have taken it.
They win the round, which they weren't supposed to be at a first place, but when we saw the double entry, Titler, I think we were well aware of the situation, and so was Namibia. They tried to go for a fast play, but in fact, they were like, we're going to walk back towards that B site, give over our weapons. They potentially going to pick it up. And they sure did. They brought all their weapons out they could. And they won round number 18, moving us in to round 19 with a very comfortable South Africa now all of a sudden. Yeah, this was double eco territory. Yeah, this was an eco. This could have been 11-8. But when you lose that round against the force buy, it all of a sudden becomes you in a whole lot of trouble in the face of Namibia now. It really is. South Africa have broken the curse and are ready to strike for more.
Yeah, look at the strike for more as well, yeah. As you just said. But now, the economies for both sides not looking all too great. South Africa is still pretty fragile themselves, so Namibia taking this round would be a swing round. We might end up seeing force buy wars. I wasn't going to be surprised if Namibia brought out a force buy into this round, but they decided to go for the safer path of 2. Oh, that is not great movement at all, but the Molotov is going to take Nowhere down as he can't get his movement under wraps, and now the kills are coming in, but they're falling the way of South Africa. Even the USP being taken down, and Mako just having no respect with him and Spitfire to chime in with kills of their own, and double digits, surprisingly, found by South Africa rather than Namibia.
Mango didn't even seem to give a damn that he had a Galil to work with. He just brought out the USP and started just tapping away. In the end, also dropping his USP instead of the Galil. That's just a funny little play, but it works out. Now Namibia on a full buy up against South Africa. This is the chance for both of the teams to once again reset each other. For South Africa, that might mean a chance to build up some economy on the hard-fought CP side. For Namibia, that might mean able to break South Africa once more, because they're stuck on 1.4k loss bonus. They shouldn't get caught now that far, and they're playing a slow round, a slow approach. This is going to be a very important round. Round number 20. Always an important point in the match. And who will take the lead in this game?
Yep. Nowhere peeking through as well. The headshot connecting pretty nicely onto Spitfire to get things underway. And maybe are looking to get themselves back to winning ways, and they've never failed to kind of make us believe that. And they've been able to convert it a lot of the time as well when they've gotten these advantages. So looking like a very strong start out from the Namibian side. Drop a smoke on in. Loads of these utilities being dropped in are pretty cool because, you know, we don't really get to see, you know, smokes like this at, you know, regional qualifiers. We usually see things at the upper echelon of Counter-Strike. We're not even seeing it often, and these teams have not failed to show what they're able to do. They've really showed that they've been working hard, trying to get themselves qualified for the LAN final. But kind of just with that opportunity being thrown away, they're still trying the hardest, which is pretty valid for them to see. But Zephyr has snuck all the way into B, and he's gotten that kill lower also into this battle up on the A-bomb site, but Pleb still wins it out. Easy has been able to hold things down, not for long though, into middle, and now there's pressure. How are they going to get the bomb down here?
Able to do so now at least. And I think that there was a chance to deny it with a molly, but they didn't really seem to give anything about that, to be fair. That's a 3-3. Now the molly thrown in. It's going to be thrown in the white box, but Zephyr gets blown his head off. The bullet's right between his eyes. It's now just SC and P90 remaining. The spray comes in. It's very awkward. Namibia needs to hold on, but Pleppers on the bomb. Do they realize? I don't think they do. The spray comes in, but it's not good enough. And South Africa got to write one more up. And they're even going to take everyone down. There's nothing that Namibia could have done there. Yeah, maybe spray down the diffuser. That's the only thing, but I don't think they heard it as well. At least I was a little bit confused for all the smokes, all the mollies, all the utes that get thrown in. 11 nevertheless for South Africa, as Namibia gets caught with one hand in a cookie jar, and they're not able to win anything anymore, maybe.
Yeah, this has been a bit of a struggle out from Namibia. They really haven't shown much on their T side. South Africa are really showing their prowess on the CT side more so than their T side. And they've already put up a pretty, you know, respectable T side. You know, 7 rounds is pretty much more than enough. I was talking about the statistics, you know, before in a different qualifier, and you know, the percentages on this map are like 50.3 to 49.7 in terms of the CT and T differences. So I don't really talk about CT and T size all too much on this vertical map, you know. But South Africa, if they're just able to come ahead on the CT side, and we just look at the percentages, this is really looking good for them to take their map pick.
Yeah, and if you just look at what economy Namibia have, how they've so far been looking, the rounds haven't even been that like one-sided, to be really honest. It's been close, but South Africa been able to pull through in the rounds where it matters the most. And then when you're winning a retake like that, it's just devastating when the molly bounces off their legs. It's exactly not what you like. Namibia still able to get themselves one player around to that wood side. But with Joshi joining in, he should be having a second strong right up on. Wins the fight. The Native Nation is there with the ARP, but Pleb joins in. A triple man stack on the B side. And good luck with dismantling that. If you're in Namibia, we have just pistols to work with.
Look indeed. That is a really, really sharp shot to be hit by Mango. South Africa coming alive and making a statement. A strong one, a huge one at that as well. 4 rounds on the spin. And not all of them have been easy. You've had some pistol round wins here and there, but still, they have made, you know, such a big effort in these rifle rounds that have just come through. There's going to be a buyout for Namibia, but still, look at their residual cash. They're not going to have much. You know, they have maximum loss bonus here at this moment in time, but you can't just rely on loss bonus because you can't be losing every round. South Africa now, if they win this, they're going to be at a point here where they get 13, 14, 15. They've got the double up setup as well, and that's how you know they're brimming with cash.
Yeah, and for now, to be really honest, usually team or usually people are a little bit hated on Vertigo. And to be fair, when a team plays like this, I'm as well. When you're playing an A-side simulator, right? Going A-side all the time, but at the same time, that's what Vertigo is kind of about, right? And what have we seen with Namibia? They've kind of been avoiding it because South Africa has used a whole lot of util. They've been like supporting that or like respecting it as well. And then whenever all that util is gone, they're either going to B or trying to go through mid with a little bit of a lurk. The basic A setup has not been coming in, so now that I'm finally seeing a little bit of a default play over towards the A side, I really do like that from Namibia, and I think that's really a thing that could dismantle the side here from South Africa a little bit more than we have seen so far.
Yeah, indeed. 100%. But that's another really sharp shot, man. It's so really nice to see from South Africa that they're able to hit their shots like that. Just contending, trying their hardest. And that's a perfect angle for Joshi to be able to get a kill. That off angle, really, really strong. And off the races in a 5-on-3. What a wonderful start it is. That's a headshot to be found by nowhere. Able to get that headshot pretty nicely. And now a 4-on-3 situation has been created out from this. The bomb is going to go down here for nowhere. But now Spitfire looking to push on through. The lineup going to be found. And he's looking to deny things. Zephyr just running up the ramp, but his position is known. The op shot going to miss, but there's not enough time. That bomb's going to be defused, and he knew exactly where he was. Just got that bomb stuck and wanted nothing more in the round, regardless of how things went. 13-9. And South Africa cruising their way to victory, it seems.
Yeah, you know how devastating it is when you look at the cash from the side from the CTs to be on 7k, 6k. Everyone at least having themselves an M4 added up when they lose this, right? Added up to the tally, another full by round. That's when you know how desperate it is for the side from Namibia. Double up, put out once more. Things are really looking good. They've been able to win their fights, and I keep just... Whenever we have to say, like, nowhere gets a kill, like, this is not something about the game, it's just something about how funny I find that name, you know, nothing. Like, nothing is on the site. Nothing. He gets nothing done, right? It's just so funny, names like that. We have to have more of that in CS.
Yeah. I get you. But it's been a relatively silent round so far. Kind of completely juxtaposes the previous rounds that we've seen. But Spitfire looking to make a bang here with his AWP, but immediate trade out from nowhere. Looking to deny things for South Africa once more. But this double up setup here, it has been so strong. I don't know how you get away from this. It's so strong, so potent. They can't predict where it's at every single time. You can see, for example, Spitfire even jumping up. I feel like this rifle has a better angle, but once he spots that shoulder, he's just really fast with it, peeking through. That's a nice headshot out from the easy. But other than that, the advantage is there. But the control of the map, control of the A side, is completely in the hands of Namibia for now. It's just that the bomb has to get onto the bomb side itself, and nowhere in the meanwhile is just waiting for someone to walk in.
Yeah, nowhere on the A side, I guess. It's gonna be tough for him to see. There's still a kill to be found left. One to drop. 2 versus 2 created. Namibia not out of this one completely, although Joshi wants to end it. An AWP and an AK up for the task against the 2 AKs for the side from Namibia. No util for them to work with. And South Africa have kind of everything. They're mollying off the short side, the smoke on the bomb, and then probably just a tap. Playing off of the after plan. This is a casual setup. Yep, they're tapping it. Easy. Gonna start to spray. They hear 2 AK sprays coming in. The AWP is looking to the edge of the smoke. Joshi is still sticking. They're sticking to the left side, but again, comes in. The second time this has happened, and devastated should Namibia be, but they just don't close out a single round other than the Armored Eagle round they've gotten. Oh, fortune favors South Africa once more as they claim 14.
It is such a very close round. Again, fine margin separating it. That defuse again just being stuck straight up by South Africa. Very, very bold. And 14-9 it is, just edging themselves closer. But Namibia might be just like really disappointed because I feel like there's so many rounds that they could have possibly won themselves. We'll see again. Spitfire on the same exact angle. So potent. Been finding kills every single round he's been holding this one. Maybe this time Namibia might be able to get a pre-fire in and just expect it, but the way things are going, Jesse, I don't know at this point, but nowhere. Got a first kill again. That flick, not going to connect, going to repeat for some more. That's very, very dangerous. Nowhere's able to find that, but Feb, look at this unrelenting aggression out here from Namibia. Or rather from South Africa as well, and well, this time around they've been shut down.
Yeah, I mean, Namibia this time winning the raid fights, and that's what wins you games, I guess. It's as easy, maybe a coach stepping in to say that to them, win the raid fights, guys. Yeah, it might be something they've been able to think about, but at the same time, all jokes aside, of course, a well-played round for Namibia. That's gonna be great if they win, if they play rounds like this more often. There might be more going their way. South Africa, they were ready, and you said it before, and I will say it again. Spitfire has been great on the up from the short side, always getting an entry, but when he falls, you see everyone from South Africa just a little bit clueless. He tried to regain the 4-on-4 there, but unsuccessful. Everything falters on the A side, and South Africa just forced into a save.
Yep. Forcing a save. But they still have plenty of money in the bank account. Pleb and Mango lacking, obviously, in the money department. But, of course, with you have the double-up setups. Players brimming with cash. I wonder if they go back for the double-up setup. It'd be very bold if they did so, because they'd be on the verge of economic collapse pretty early on into their success if they do so, because some of these players have to drop, and they're going to go in for that double-up setup. Look at how they started off 8k, 11k, 10k, and then now they're kind of not really with a lot of cash. And their loss bonus isn't that great as well, because they've just been winning. So this is not looking great for their economy. They really need that double up setup. And I've seen a lot of times, you know, the double up setup, a lot of teams do, well, not really so many teams, but I've seen teams rely on it so much that if they're not able to have it, then they start losing. And I don't really want South Africa to be that type of team. They've really just forced themselves into this double up setup. Sure, they're able to afford it, but is it really good for the long-term success?
At the same time, has it really worked out, right? Not too much. Like, they've been great. They've been playing well enough with one-up. Spitfire's been fragging out, but Alienation, I can't really see him able to do too much with the op so far, and then you double up, yeah, then it becomes costly when it's not really needed to have it to win yourself rounds. You're only 2 off, so don't choke it in the end run.
Yeah, completely correct. But they're playing the longer range angles. It seems like they're set up to possibly save if Namibia do take this bomb site. I think they're aware of the economic situation. Spitfire, of course, was holding that closer ramp angle pretty much in the round, but this time around he's holding CT. Just to back off and away, just so that he doesn't fall so easily. But the smokes on that are going to be dropping on in are going to block his angle off completely. That's good awareness out from Namibia. It's so hard now to hold things down here if you're South Africa. Push on forward out for P9T to lead the way, lead the charge. He's going to try and push on forward, it seems. Try and put some pressure down on these players. Looking to deny that bomb, though. Mango maybe pushing up forward. No is going to be the answer. Spitfire going to be right here. Just look at P9T's position, and as he exits, Spitfire activates with that AWP, and now the retake. Looking to get underway. Pushing on forward ever so slightly. CT retake smoke's going to be dropped in themselves. Flashes to come on over as well. Nowhere. Now, holding the angle with that AK-47. A tap on the bomb again. No way, South Africa, are you going to stick the bomb and win the round? There's time for it, and South Africa have done it. I cannot believe it, Jesse. Just sticking a bomb every single time, and it just doesn't ever not work.
Yeah, unbelievable. Namibia set themselves up so nicely. We're talking nicely about them. Their way back in. A beautiful entry on the boost. Pleb getting absolutely demolished there. And now even a triple up setup. Like, South Africa feels like they're too good at this point. Whereas, to be really honest, the amount of ninja diffuse you've won, if none of those came through, Namibia was in the lead, ladies and gentlemen. Be aware of that, because South Africa is even a and of course, this match seems to be a little bit of a show match. Because it isn't for too much anymore, but South Africa, you still want to win it. You don't want to lose your pride, and it would be a very, very sad approach for South Africa, considering, as I said before, they were the ones qualifying for the Europe circuit last time, to then be the 3rd team in your region, the final one in South Africa region, right? That would be very, very disappointed for South African fans and the South African players as well. But at the same time, it doesn't seem to look like that. The entry from Joshi came in, so I guess the triple op setup, the 3rd op, has been used to at least what he needed to do.
Yeah. Has been able to do what he's needed to do, and triple up setup is pretty wild here for South Africa. And it shows to me that those ops are just so important for them. They've been winning so many rounds off of it, and they're just kind of play passive while the players with rifles go aggressive. Playing the long range angles. Namibia are in for a really big surprise once they spot these 3 ops. They are so bold. They're not respecting Namibia at all. Whipping out 3 ops. Spitfire to get the first kill. This seems to be all over, Dutch boy. Doesn't seem like there's any chance in this round. That off holding the lines pretty much perfectly, tapping away. I don't know what he's going to be able to do here. Zephyr and P90, sure, they might be able to peek on through. These ops looking menacing. All players here, Zap bombs dropped. P90 able to get a kill. Joshi activating. But P90 all alone, and it's simply not going to happen. South Africa taking their map pick, 16-10.
Beautifully done. This is how you start off the game. This is how you start off the little show match we have right here, of course. Still, some highlights to witness. It has been a very beautiful map. And in the end, yeah, South Africa, their 7 rounds on their T side were in fact enough to claim the title in the end, or claim the first map victory.
Yeah, it's pretty nice out from them. Pretty respectable out from South Africa, considering Namibia did put up a pretty nice, first half themselves onto their T side. Onto their CT side, excuse me. So I was thinking that they had a good chance, but other than that, pretty good victory out from South Africa, taking our map pick. And now moving on to Ancient, another technical map, a little bit newer into the map pool. Going to be interested to see how that one pans out.
I mean, it's going to be a map where, first of all, I think it's still considered to be a more map going towards that pugging style, because you can play it very fast right now, right? You can push out of mid, you can take those brawly approaches, but on the other hand, some teams tend to take it quite slow, play defaulty like. So we're gonna see how South Africa is gonna approach it, because on the T side they played a very versatile style, on the CT side they were strong. So let's see what's gonna be. For now, we'll drop it into a break, guys. We'll see how Ancient will in fact be. We're going not to South Africa this time. No, we're going to South America, because that's the location where Ancient is. See you guys after the break.
what is fake and the risk we have to take. Will we know what is throwing off our balance? We cannot sink into the dark. The vertigo is getting sharp. There's something greater than ourselves. But we must use that we need. We get built up, we all buy that we need. We get the highs that we need. We need. We get built up, we all buy that we need. We get the highs that we need. I feel, the highs, we all buy that we feel, the highs that we need.
The year is 1991. Birds and people are living together in seemingly perfect harmony. Until one day, a young man catches fire. This is Phoenix.
You've been knocked down and got up again. In a corner, you're surrounded, no defenders. You've hid your fury and kept it in. But it's time now, you ignite and turn to embers. Like a phoenix, you burst in a fire burn. A thirst and desire, you transform right up in a flash. You spread your wings to rise from the ashes. Phoenix, you burst in a fire burn. A thirst and desire, you transform right up in a flash. You spread your wings to rise from the ashes.
Get ready for verse 2, Electric Boogaloo.
You see the truth behind the veil, and you know that they're just looking for attention. Oh, you don't let the ruthlessness prevail. Oh, it's time now, light your fires for ascension. Like a phoenix, you burst in a fire burn. A thirst and desire, you transform right up in a flash. You spread your wings to rise from the ashes. Phoenix, you burst in a fire burn. A thirst and desire, you transform right up in a flash. You spread your wings to rise from the ashes. They let you down, but you get up. They let you drown, but you don't stop. You show 'em you're a phoenix. Phoenix, you burst in a fire burn. A thirst and desire, you transform right up in a flash. You spread your wings to rise from the ashes. Phoenix, you burst in a fire burn. A thirst and desire, you transform right up in a flash. You spread your wings to rise from the ashes.
Welcome back, guys. 16-10 after the first map in favor of South Africa on their own map pick Vertigo. Right now we are coming up into the Ancient. This map wasn't played out just yet. Into these matches that we saw yesterday, we only saw 4 maps and Ancient didn't come out. So I don't know what to really expect from the Namibia side on this map pick. South Africa seems pretty confident on their own map, but Namibia should be a lot better on the Ancient map. And I really hope we are going to see also the third Inferno, because as I tell you in the first spot, we know this is our last matchup that we are going to see from the World Esports Championship 2023 Africa Regional Qualifier. But yeah, map Ancient should be ready, guys. Maybe our last map that we are going to see in this tournament. So let's take a look.
Welcome back, everyone, here to the Southern African WEC Regional Qualifiers. It's me, Tiller, joined by Dutch Boy. We have ourselves Ancient, as I said, by our lovely studio. It was a pretty shaky opening half on Vertigo, but it was all South Africa in the end. Will it be a different story, do you think, Dutch Boy, going into Ancient?
I'm a little bit confused why Ancient now said it comes out, but at the same time, like, they picked Overpass yesterday, right, Namibia, and that didn't go their way, so just switching up the maps, I guess. But on Vertigo, they look still pretty good, even though that wasn't a map they had any liking of picking as well against the Mauritius. So I'm feeling still quite confident about their map pick, but one thing that we did in fact see was the CT site, or the T site, I should say, from Namibia being a little bit of a harder time. They had a harder time on that. And now with us moving into a map where they won't be starting on that CT side, they will be starting on the T side, that might lead to some very, very unfortunate circumstances.
Yeah, as you said, it is pretty much it can be played Puggy style, but where that runs into an issue is when the other team starts playing structured, you know, high tier CS. You can't play Puggy style. Like on a map like Mirage, if you play Puggy style and the other team plays structured, you can still work it out. But on Ancient, it's simply not going to work at all. But we'll have to see how the dynamic is. Namibia, they picked into things. They'll start on the T side. Maybe they have something special up their sleeve.
I think always good team play outbeats the perk style. So on every single map, I feel like that is gonna be the case, at least for the CT side where you're playing well together. But at the same time, the problem comes with that when good trading is involved into this perk style, and all of a sudden becomes a whole lot harder to find it. Maybe the reason why BNE is playing so well on those maps for now. The early aggression immediately showed. For Namibia, going for a fast play into the cave side, and they're going to run it down. This is why I'm saying a perk style played, and they're able to take this whole B side under control. Still players trying to hold on to the South African side, but they're unsuccessful. Every kill goes their way. Only one trade back is there, but Spitfire is now up in a 1-on-4. Push from right side as well. Nowhere. Won't be the one to find the kill, but to give him more time, he was the one to find the headshot. Maybe at least on the first round and in the lead.
Yeah, pretty much. A basic B-side execute there. Fast play. You know, everything you'd expect out of a pistol round on Ancient. Nothing too much more to say. You typically don't go towards A bomb site through A main on Ancient. Just B-side control is the name of the game, and maybe they took it perfectly. But I don't think that's a real indicator of what's to say. I feel like the real indicator here on this map of Ancient is usually, you know, those rifle rounds. As per usual, really, how it pertains to every map. But, you know, I feel like it is even more so here because that B-side is so potent on the pistol rounds, and P19's gotten off to a fantastic start. There is a player on the left side they haven't checked, and South Africa got 2 kills right there, snatching that advantage away from Namibia.
Ooh, a few more pieces being taken, and you gotta be careful, Easy, as it's Alien Nation to try and take you down.
Oh.
Spitfire peaks, that's very, very bad. He could have just stayed away, and it would have been a 2-on-4 now. It's a 2-on-3, it might still be a chance for Namibia. They've digged their own grave here a little, and South Africa keeps on losing fights. Nowhere. Strings up 2 more. He gets Namibia onto the B side with, not ease, but at the same time with ease, I guess.
Yeah. Basically, at this point now, Namibia have been able to shift it on its head. Been a very, very topsy-turvy round being played in round number 2. Pretty costly as well, but that's good, I feel, because Namibia, you know, it's not really good for their economy per se, but you know, taking those Mac 10s out of their hands is always great to see. But the round ain't done just yet. Noah trying to tap his way on in, and well, there he's gonna walk into the crosshair Zephyr, so that one's cleaned up. Yeah, but as I was saying, usually you'll see those Mac 10s being brought into the second round. A lot of teams, or well, in the picture you might say, oh, their economy won't be looking too great when they lose it, but getting those Mac 10s out of your hands is pretty good. You get an upgrade into the rifles, get those AKs, Galil's on board rather. P90 is still gonna buy into that Mac 10. He kind of wants to keep that economy strong, but. Yeah, Namibia off to the races, off to a good start here on the T side of Ancient.
Yeah, a little bit of a bonus buy now being played right for the side from Namibia. Nothing bad about that whatsoever. When they win this, it's going to be a ridiculous amount of number of rounds going their way. If they lose it, still somewhat great, because they will in fact still have some of them on buys to come through. But for now, the bonus situation is not well. They've gotten themselves barely any money into their reserves. Still a good kill to start things off. Zephyr is the one to grab the entry. False play into the B site might be unraveling itself, but the bomb still being far down. Namibia trading is initiated, but will they be able to take the B site? Yes, they do. South Africa once again playing as a retake. Haven't been successful on just yet. Spitfire tries to fight before the retake is even initiated. Oh, Cassie runs into the spray from Joshi. So unfortunate there to come out. And all of a sudden, the A side opened up from the easy. This round is definitely not done. And it actually looks more and more likely like Namibia is going to win this round.
Yeah, it might look like Namibia are able to take this round as well. Look at the control they have. But what I feel like could be a problem here is if they take too much time away. You see the Easy is kind of just checking behind him. But Zephyr kind of has to make a move, because he might just end up clearing this bomb site all by his own. There has been noise created out from Mango. That's not going to be heard. And the Easy might be in for a pleasant surprise, but that is a very, very sharp and fast shot to be hit. And as that bomb is planted now for that donut side, it seems, as both players take refuge in that section of the map, things just get infinitely harder for Joshi as he's left up to 2 points of health as well. Nice, plenty of noise. Does have a smoke, though, to possibly get things going for him. But this crossfire is really too strong. And I think Joshi realized that, and he's clearing the wrong angles as well. This round is locked in here for Namibia.
He has to run far. Will make a lot of noise, but he has to run maybe even further than towards the T-spawn, because the bomb radius is very big. And needs to run as well from the players. To stay awake, stay alive. Defa might still be pushing him down. It's going to grab him. And so, the round win coming through for Namibia. Not only that, they strike them all down. And so the T side on Ancient is where Namibia is looking great right now. What does South Africa still have to offer? Because otherwise, the man in the studio said it as well. We want to make it to a map 3. Because then the show match that we have right here is definitely played to the fullest potential. We see beautiful style of Counter-Strike, and Inferno is always a map where that's going to be proven on. Would be great. It's a great story for this whole tournament to wrap it all up. It will be the case. Still some trade backs are here. 3 versus 3, that's now just Joshi remaining.
Just Joshi remaining indeed once more. Savadigo has been able to do a little bit of damage sometimes, but pretty much a formality here for Namibia. It's really a matter of what damage he can find himself. It's been a pretty stellar T side so far from Namibia. They're not letting their foot off the gas, and they're just keeping them at bay. They might be able to deny the bomb here off of Joshi. He has to hit at least 1 kill there. And yeah, that was just unfortunate. Kind of had the crosshair nearly on the head, but not quite so much. And well, there it is. And there's going to be a tactical pause going to be called out here for Namibia, interestingly enough, even though they've been kind of the front runners here this entire map of Ancient so far.
Yeah, a little bit weird, but maybe someone running to the toilet, doing something like that, but at the same time, a comfortable position to be in here if you're in Namibia. They might have seen something that we don't. They might be preparing themselves for the full buy that's coming up. Maybe still some changes made if you're not feeling too great, but you're still 4-0 up. You know something is right on this map. Don't get overconfident now, Namibia, because you're still 1 map down in South Africa. When you give them a chance, they will strike. For now, they haven't struck yet.
Yep. We'll see things here around number 5. We'll see how it transpires completely. See, drop smokes in. They're going to take map control this time around. That might be the different play that's going to come through for South Africa. You can see the deep smokes in, but they're not going to aggress upon it. It's rather going to be the players in Donut and Cave going to do the aggressing. CP90, players tapping away. Nowhere. I feel like he might be able to get it. There it is. I feel like you can't just peek too much like that if you're Joshi. That's the B side open for the taken, but Pleb's able to catch one before... Yeah, well, he has to fall back. Mango now. Oh, that's a lineup and a half. South Africa have taken it. That's the round in their control now. Both players separated. Both players towards A. They completely cleared this B-side area. And in a matter of moments, if they decide to push up further, they might be able to spot that bomb as well.
Oh, this is great. South Africa recognizing what they have to do to win a round. And so Namibia, their tactical timeout has been a thing that helped South Africa more than it had helped themselves. Mid shot comes in, Spitfire. Still trying to follow up yet another, but misses twice. The third time both misses here. Don't see that too often for Spitfire, at least on Vertigo. Hold on Ancient. It's a full different map. Tries to string up more to grab himself that second kill of the round with 30 seconds remaining. Trying to see if Namibia can still get themselves to the B side. They will at least try, but I don't think they're going to be successful. Spitfire again missing. Hasn't connected a shot just yet. Sure, help from Flat is sure there. And now he finds it. Finally. I was already thinking, like, is there rubber bullets inside of it? Plastic? But no. There's real steel, and it's actually South Africa that starts to string up some more, hopefully. We do in fact see a closer game starting to unfold because of that.
Yep. I feel like South Africa capitalizing on the round is pretty important. You know, kind of the same like on Vertigo, like not too late and not too early, just pretty much the right time. Namibia aren't on 7-8, you know, 4-1 is not even that bad of a scoreline. But Namibia have brought the pace, have brought the heat so far, and have really disappointed. We'll see how this pans out for them to this round. They're kind of split all across the board. They've been playing a default, but it's not typical I see such a wide default out from a team. And it's not usual I see a mid player just hold back there. Again, Mango almost finding a lot of success, but he's taking him down to lower enough HP, and that's a beautiful shot out from the CT player. While this is all happening, it seems like they're looking to put pressure on the A-bomb side as well.
Easy jump spots in, trying to spot that alienation, but he's just ready. Yeah, that jumping might be good for the lower parts, but when he's up on top, there's no way to spot him. And so, 4 versus 2 created, bomb picked up. We all can see, Tiddler and viewers at home, that there is in fact a change been made to this game. A champ starting to be stepped up in the name of South Africa, which might start to build up rounds and might start to grab a lead soon enough if Namibia doesn't stop it, but their economy will be dropped down quite far if they lose this round. And with a double man stacker on the B side, it's definitely not looking likely that Namibia will pick it up. Double smoke.
Yep. Creep on in, but look at this position from Pleb as well, just in the corner. Do they even check things? That's the question. They're completely caught between two minds. Zephyr only able to get one, and that's a nice holdout from South Africa. They're starting to get warmed up on the CT side, starting to break the ice. You know, start to beat that Namibian side, and they've gotten off to the races here, breaking that economy finally of Namibia.
Funny breaking, funny chances. This is what we're looking for. Pleb there, if he got spotted, there might have been a chance to swing up through short, but they were too cautious about long as well. And then with a double smoke going towards short, if you give a call, 1 smoke long, 1 smoke short, that's a round potentially, right, for Namibia. But the call wasn't made, and arguably, of course, even if those smokes came in, Pleb was still there to go absolute nuclear. It was always going to be tough. But in this round, Namibia will have an eco. After that, we'll have to see. Oh, the cinematic. Not meant to be. Still, some chances to walk their way in. Towards the A site now. Their alienation will have to step up. Dropping down. And he wants as well. Ooh. Drop down to the deck. And so, it's all left to 3 players from Namibia. Maybe a bomb plant could still get secured. Nowhere, so he's trying. This round might go nowhere for Namibia. Still, the bomb will go down. So added that some cash to the tally, but not a round. added up to the tally, at least now for South Africa.
Another round possibly on the board, and well, of course now it's a formality. It's been pretty good so far for South Africa. You know, it's 4 one-sided rounds out from Namibia and then 3 one-sided rounds out from South Africa. We've seen kind of the best from both sides so far, and now I feel like we enter a stage where we get to see the best of both sides at the same time, and I feel like these rounds will be extremely close. Again, rounds of fine margins. You might see stuck diffuses, stuff like that, like we were seeing on Vertigo. But I feel like the way things are going, you'd expect Namibia to just edge a little bit more forward, but it seems like South Africa have the substance to return the favor and do something good themselves.
Chances for South Africa to continue. Will it be 4 or will it be 5? It's not going to be decided into this round, but as soon as South Africa starts to fire, we all saw what happened here on the CT side. A little bit of an awkward spray. Sefa not getting a headshot right on top of him. He's going to be happy. Of course, it's devastated. Must feel devastated for Mango. Would have been the one maybe single-handedly winning the round straight off the bat. Wanting to force him back still. Going to be standing right tall. Joshi pushes the bottom of the ramp. Headshot on top of Sefa. Now finally confirmed the frag for his team. Something that Mango couldn't do earlier. He will definitely find in a swing, a reload. Cassie should get caught. A double man kill will be found. South Africa, a double man advantage in this round to work with. Still a double R posted up on A. So Namibia have a hard time dismantling this A side right now.
Very hard time. Alienation again. It's those AWPs that have been so hard to break down, and now that's a very scary prospect. I feel like Namibia are lucky to start on the T side here, because South Africa on their CT side with that AWP, we saw it on Vertigo, they're just really unstoppable with it. You see how those last 3 kills came in for South Africa, all by virtue of the sniper. That's a very scary prospect. And if they continue on here, that would be very damaging to Namibia, especially on their T side. But the thing is, at least South Africa don't go into the CT side in the second half, because imagine if they were dominating at that point.
Would be hard to see, it would be tough to witness, and that's an entry for Spitfire. 5 versus 4 found for the side from South Africa. The bomb that will go down, or will it? Not even. As the bomb gets cancelled, the Tech 9 from Mango out as he runs himself through out of the cave side. Put another one to the tally. A triple in the round. And South Africa, that's now in the lead.
Taking 5 rounds to beat Namibia's 4. And as well on top of that, Namibia got that pistol round as well. And, you know, of course, those conversions were, of course, going to be a little bit easier than the rifle rounds, where it's rifle v rifle. But South Africa have just proved for the past few rounds that they've been the better team so far. They have performed better than Namibia on this first half. And Namibia, this is their second timeout used. And they called a timeout even before South Africa got a single round on the board. And I was, you know, a bit skeptical of it. You were as well. But now, seeing that they're using another timeout kind of screams to me and kind of tells to me that they're kind of worried. And I feel like they might just have a little bit more up their sleeve on the T side that South Africa are completely suppressing.
Let's hope that, to be really honest, right? As that is definitely something that could make this game a whole lot hotter, a whole lot nicer, a whole lot closer as well. It's still close, but with Namibia taking those 4 rounds and now South Africa taking 5, we also have the fire right on top of their logo. But for us, just the logo still. They're fired up. South Africa continues to bring in more. Not yet though. Sefa taking down Spitfire to somewhat control this round. Earlier P9 to get mollied out quite far. Just 44 health remaining to make a play. And so Namibia getting stopped for now. The control is great for South Africa. Which side, whichever side Namibia is going to go, to at least face one side there. There's no little openings. And Mango is shutting the door closed as well for the B side.
Shutting that door completely. South Africa have been so good. But this is their best chance to get into the bomb site, and they've taken it. That's to get into that A bomb site. But the thing is, they do need to get kills here as well. There's still 2 kills possibly needed as well. But I don't know about Joshi being required since he is so far back in main. But I feel like the point man in this round is nowhere. He can possibly just cut off the rotates completely back into A. and kind of just force South Africa into a save of some sort. They do have plenty of money, but Pleb's there to open up. He's going to run away. Not even going to get a kill right back, but nowhere. That's the first step. Cutting off that rotate, but they might be in for a pleasant surprise as there's 2 players peeking in from the main side. Now they're possibly looking to get surprised. That's a spam through. The damage has been dealt. Pleb needing to reload. Molotov dropped in as well. But there's a wraparound coming in from the temple side. Zephyr finds that one right back, but now it's going to be a wraparound. He could possibly get this now. This flank is of a lifetime. Zephyr doesn't know where to look at, but now he's looking the right way. He's going to peek in the Molotov in his hands, and that's going to be his ultimate demise. Sure, it's going to force him off the bomb, but he does have a kit. He has plenty of time. Mango dancing around the bomb, and South Africa with 6 on the spin and plenty of money in the bank account.
Mango might be dancing around the bomb, but the whole team of South Africa is dancing around their PCs as they've just found 6. And all the fans at home cheering for them right now as they have found 6 in a row, ladies and gentlemen. Not a single thing lost after those 4 rounds going away from Namibia. This is a great performance South Africa have so far shown, and they will continue to be as the money has started to stack up. Mango is still on 14k. Yeah, good luck for Namibia to break that. You won't for the rest of the half, so you're gonna play just full buy after full buy for every single round you play. So 11-4 might not even be too unlikely unless Nowhere is able to go for something now. Able to go somewhere. He has to. This Mango been played from Mango has been looking good so far, but he hasn't been able to find himself too much in the early stage of the round most of the time. This time finding just one, but an instant trade for Cassie.
Yeah. And that's a 4-4. Last cannon as well out from nowhere, really forcing up that off so he can contend. And it's going to show his hand as well. That's arm spotted. Spitfire should have things. Oh, he doesn't. I felt like there might be a white peak looming on in, but he's going to back away respected for now. That AUG being whipped out, it's a really potent weapon, but guys, he's able to get that kill. Now the B side can be taken forward, but that op holding is so dangerous. It's 2 ops as well. I don't know how on earth here you're going to retake off of this bomb side even after that. You're going to see a peek on in. Pleb now trying to do something with that A4. And he's going to get... No, he's not going to get away. Kazi gets taken down, but the rotate here already onto the A-bomb site. And South Africa have been completely lured over towards there. And now the rotates are back in. But look at his push up forward.
Easy. In a very good position. Will they check him? Spitfire. Might be a dead man walking. He's going to peek. The bomb might be denied. Nope, it's easy to deny him. But why is no one there backing up the upper for South Africa? That's been a complete misplay. There's no way you can allow that to happen. They're all splitting up. And in this situation where you're playing for a retake, stick together because that's your biggest chance of survival. Now Namibia, getting yourself a chance for round number 5. If the bomb, or at least CT Hall, will be mollied off. They got themselves a kid. But Pleb needs to go absolutely nuclear, finding himself at least one. The second one as well. There's still a chance, but the bomb timer has run out. Money will stop him from making a play.
Oh.
And it's Namibia to go back to winning ways.
Back to winning ways. But it's been a long while. But, you know, the scoreline is pretty close anyway, so it's not even that bad. So this would be a perfect and opportune time to get more than enough rounds on your T side. You know, 6 rounds is more than enough, especially on Ancient. You know, you can get yourself going onto that CT side, but what makes things scary is that all presence for South Africa, right? So if you can get enough on your T side, it'll just make things so much easier because South Africa aren't going to be able to do much on that CT op. You know, or on the T side op, excuse me. They're going to bring triple ops on the T side. See, you can see there, those ops have been so useful. Getting that opening frag, but this time around being immediately traded out by the op on nowhere.
This is going to be very, very tough. You got to be careful. If you're the side from Namibia, more than all war, and he lost yourself. A trade frag, sure there. P90 opening up. The bomb still far back over to the B side, that molly. And then Nate on the upper. Well, nowhere. Just barely squeezing through. Back around the angle. And same we said about Pleb just staying alive. Namibia is going for the B side. They need to take the bomb a little later. The mid-present needs to be shown. Sefa will fall down. So there's not a little bit of a hold down. They don't have full ramp control themselves now. So this is hard for Namibia. They might want to try and go back to A. As they don't have too much control yet. They don't know what's up and where South Africa is located.
Yeah. Now, creeping on to the mid side. Advantage again with South Africa. And as you said, well, now they've trying to make an opportunity out of this, but 30 seconds remaining. They'll have to make a move on, but the rotate away from alienation might be a bit dangerous. But it's not rotate away, actually. It's going to be a reposition into the temple. But rather doing so in a safer way as he pushes in. Very scary prospect out here. They're peeking into CT. They might call this clear. Don't know if they know that there might be someone in temple, but he has to be silent and dropping here into the bomb side. He's done so perfectly. He's able to get the first. Now down to a 1-on-2 situation. As P90 looking to peek on in. There's player just here. He's playing really, really close right in front as well. This is where that op can really get into use as it's holding. Top of the bomb as well. Come off of it. The quick scope not quite going to connect, but the rifle is going to do the job. Quite close in the end, but nonetheless, South Africa stays strong and, well, cancel out Namibia's victory right there and right then.
Yeah, still opening up the chances for double digits. That's where South Africa is looking for in this first half. We still have a full half, of course, coming in, where South Africa might have the attacking side to come. There's a very good amount of chances for them to continue on, but at the same time, that CT side for Namibia, and for example, Vertigo has been looking good. Now, considering it's their own map pick, maybe they have setups South Africa is a little bit lesser aware of, or they are going to have a little bit of trouble as they didn't prepare for this map as much. We'll have to find that out when the second half unfolds, so getting as most as you can here onto the CT side is required for South Africa. I wouldn't say 7 is enough to speak of a comfortable spot to be in.
Now, again, South Africa off to the races. Pleb getting the first kill already on the board. Trying to make a statement, possibly getting a 10-5 scoreline at the end of the half, and they're looking good to do so. Nowhere, not connecting with the shot, but this rifle looking bold. Possibly looking to re-peek on in. Pleb is to hold the angle. Spotting the shoulder and the jiggle peek out, but not quite finding it. But there's that Taro. He's playing with him. He's toying with his food. Nowhere, trying to look at 2 angles at once. He's under a lot of pressure. He's jiggle peeking, but he doesn't know he's already around here. Alienation. I think he's been playing too much. And there's another kill out from Nowhere. Namibia have been single-handedly handed over into this round by Nowhere. As he gets a third in the round, looking for some more. And they're completely locked out of heaven. P90 even holding in this angle. He's going to get pre-fired probably by South Africa in this position. But they do have to be careful of that position of Donut.
Very tough spot. Spitfire might be swinging in. P90 getting himself taken down. Looking in for a second. Unsuccessful for now, as 6 rounds isn't too unlikely now. Great stuff all over the board has been shown so far by the side from Namibia. I'm keen to see what they're going to do further into this game, because they're still not done here. And Titler, we might not be done yet, of course, after this map, because Namibia might take us to 3.
Might just do so. It's been pretty impressive so far. The fact that they were able to get to that bomb site, even though South Africa have been looking pretty sharp. They had the positions as well. And as I said, you know, these would be the rounds where it gets closer. It kind of comes down to fine margins. They start trading rounds back and forth. It's exactly what's happening here in this case. Final 2 rounds here this first half. I feel like things could be decisive. It's at least a 9-6 here for Namibia, so I feel like any other rounds here will be just a bonus for them.
We have to see how much that bonus will actually be. 8, as I said, might be very good. 7, this doesn't seem to make the cut in my eyes for South Africa. They really need to find more, but will they do so? Plep is watching the added smoke. He might be thinking as a one-way, but he's out in the open completely, whereas his screen is just a little bit soggy. Falls down on the Nowhere's op. And now Spitfire is up for a big task with the op himself, stuck in a corner. Flash to try and bait some, made some room, make some room for himself, and that's what he's able to create. He's able to find as well South Africa, a good round for them once more, and it's solely Spitfire stepping up with the op this time. Missed a lot of shots here on the map right now. Seems to have found himself his rhythm. Seems to be warmed up for the future. And they're probably going to win the half at least here, South Africa, as round number 8 does seem to be almost really possible. That bomb could be seen if they push a little bit further, but they might face a loss the easy as well, which now coming from the ruined side, connects himself a headshot. That's Mango falling down, a 2 versus 3. This brawl, this duel is important.
So important, but that is it. That now just seals the fate for Namibia. Look how far away Kazi is. That sound is going to be heard. Alienation wrapping around, and there it is. It has been made a done deal. A guaranteed lead at the end of the half for South Africa, but considering that they're on the CT side, maybe they're not just with it. Maybe they're not too happy with it, but I feel like it's been pretty good. You know, what Namibia have shown in certain stages, they've done a pretty good job, but I feel like South Africa might have wanted more, but it isn't your map pick, and I think it really comes down to your T side any day of the week anyway when it comes to your opponent's map pick.
They have to show. They will have to be the ones to show us off. And to Vertigo, I still wasn't too excited about their team side, what was their own map pick. So we're going to find out what it is. But this is at least a good ending of the half. A complete massacre on the B side. No one stays alive. And it's South Africa to win 9. Even though the start of the round or the half was the way it was, since then South Africa been looking good. So that might be some consolidations been made. You lose the pistol, you lose the follow-up few. And now on the T side, when you would not lose that pistol, the rifle rounds have been heavily in their favor. So maybe it's not looking as bad as it seems. But 9-6. Okay, Namibia shows what you can do on the CT side.
And we'll see it right here just to get things underway. Just see how things get warmed up here in the second half. We're going to see tactical pause. You know, these teams haven't failed to use a lot of tactical pauses, and we've seen a lot in the European scene. They don't really like to use their tactical pauses a lot. I've not really seen them use tactical pauses a lot, especially, you know, in the ESCA, you know, scene. They don't really use it a lot, but here they're really using it. South Africa using another one at that as well. So they really want to get this T side underway.
Yeah, maybe speaking of what default they're gonna approach, right? And it might seem like just a funny aspect, but everyone knows how to play Ancient. But whenever you, not everyone of course, or even people that don't know it or have never played it before, but whenever you're in a level like this, you do know what the map is all about. You know the layout. You have spoken about, okay, how is the CT side? How are we gonna approach it? Now, when you're coming to that T side, you need to structure a default. Who's going to go where in every single normal round when we're not, for example, rushing A or rushing middle. So those decisions will have to be made. Those little protocols will have to be established. That's what they probably used in that little bit of a timeout play. Now a smoke early into the mid side. It looks like they're stepping up to that B side. Not going for a fast play. Maybe making Namibia at least rethink their decisions of stacking with 3 towards B. But for now, they're just sticking as well. And I think it's a good play they made.
Indeed. Ozzy to hold things down. He's able to get the first kill. Mango's able to trade right back. P9T to get the trade as well. Helping out to the bomb site. Namibia starting to make a crossfire established. But for this position, playing around, it's so difficult. Too many bullets required. It's now a 3-on-2. And yeah, players really surrounding. They have to get to better positions here, Tushboy, because, well, they're going to fall in just a few moments if they don't take better position. I don't see why Joshi gets right out of there. He needs to get out of there, and he knows that completely, but that's way too late. He had to go now or never.
Yeah, and then at that point, you're stuck. At that point, you're probably better off just sticking to that position you were in. Now you're just getting caught with your pants down, basically, and that's what Namibia is able to strike up with. Off-the-pen positions, they weren't key most of the time as well on Vertigo. And now we see exactly the same conflicting. At least the bomb plant, probably a full buy, but at the same time, they might be playing it safe for the future. No, they're forcing in. Winning this round is still going to make it somewhat greater. So who knows? This round is at least important, Dittler. We all know it, viewers at home do. This could be double digits or the way back in for Namibia.
Might be the way back in indeed. And they have shown exactly that it might be their way back indeed. The MP9 getting underway for them, to be quite exact, as Nowhere grabs another in the round. This is second. Coming in from the red room to peek through. South Africa have been decimated early on here in this round. It's been a pretty clean job out from them. And they're going to be in a bit of trouble here as well. So they're going to walk into that crosshair. Zephyr is playing the backlines, and even though they have the rifles on board, well, that information's already there, and they know that they're going towards A. That Molotov misses the mark completely. There is at least another one, but there is support from the Easy out in Donut to help out. Joshy though finding that kill with the Mac-10. That might make things a little bit interesting. The boost up forward, but I don't see why you peek there. When you have that boost, are going to come on through. Mango good for 1, but now it's a 1-on-3, and I don't see him living, and he won't live at all. 9-8 as now Namibia encroach upon a tied scoreline as the economy of South Africa has been broken.
South Africa, you lose the chances. You've lost it yourself. First few rounds on that CT side that you've lost might have become crucial here as well, because those full buy rounds were looking quite nicely. After those first 4, you had a 9-2 half basically coming in. That might have been a whole lot more, and now we're seeing the consequences from all of that coming in. Now it isn't like a 10, 11 or 12 half for them, but it's just a 9, which is Namibia almost on 9 already. So you see though, as teams starts to come in, start to make their way in towards the side. Cassie has some other plans though, farming cash with the MP9, and so the bank accounts refilled up. Namibia have been able to continuously string up round after round, as they're already tying things up. A full buy will come in, a bonus buy situation for Namibia, but South Africa will have to do something, otherwise it might be too late.
Yeah, it just might end up being too late. They have to put on the pressure now, and it's on that T side, as we were saying. That CT side, you're not going to have... Well, on the CT side, you're going to be able to forge yourself that up. But it's way more effective on that CT side on a map like Ancient. You're not going to get double ops on your T side. You're not going to bring that out. It's not practical. And South Africa have relied on it so heavily that to the point where I feel like their T side, if they're not going to be able to show up any substance on this T side, well, the rest of it is just going to be a struggle. And I feel like that's the problem at the end of the day. But we'll just have to see. Namibia just holding things down. They don't have the best of buys though. They're up against the rifles. South Africa, this is their chance to show up here, and it seems like it's going to be an A-side take.
Yeah, all of them. Great shot from Mango to start the round. The volley thrown on top. Zephyr has to run. Not getting caught. The rest might just be history as South Africa leads their way in towards the A site. Will Namibia still the bomb plant from happening? That really won't be the case. At least they won't be starting to fire up on the bomb planter. But at least there's already a player joined in on the backside, which is P90 in this regard. Still some flashes coming in, and there might be no cigar here for this South African side. Mango is stuck, but he's able to find himself at least one dispel. He's in the boost, could be used to his advantage. Spraying for the smoke is coming out quite nicely. And now Alien Nation up against 2. He has to swing through the smoke, and P90 is waiting outside, ready to hold, grabs a frag. There's enough time to convert the bomb plant, or the bomb defuse, I should rather say. Namibia getting themselves in double digits.
Wow. A very, very wild round, I guess you could say. Didn't look like South Africa were going to be favored in it, considering the numbers that were already posted up on that A bomb site. But they did get that bomb plant down, and they made the retake kind of a little bit of a struggle for this Namibian side. They end up cleaning up once again. But we did see 4 rounds in a row out from Namibia in the first half. Is this where South Africa do stop them in their tracks? Is they able to, force out a buy once more?
Namibia will still have to be careful as they've lost won many rounds, but always with a few players surviving. And then that CT economy is a pain in the back, as we are a 5 versus 4 start here for South Africa. The spring coming in, the easy, missing some shots the first time. Titler, we spoke about it. Rarely we see misses coming in like that in this region, which we really do seem to like. But if you miss like that, there's some consequences aligning, as South Africa have taken the B side for grabs, have planted the bomb, and might secure double digits. This might be their way back in. Look at Joshy's flank. Zephyr should be a dead man walking, and will in fact fall down as well. Flip will find the kill through the wall. They take no prisoners, as South Africa puts themselves on 10.
No prisoners, locked in completely. And maybe we'll call a tactical pause upon this as well. Once more. They've been using a lot. This is their 3rd utilized here in this second map. And what a round that was out from South Africa. Flanks upon flanks, layers upon layers, waves of assault upon waves of assault. And pretty impressive in the end, just getting kills in the end. And it was really good out from South Africa. And they got that bomb down. They kind of went out for more. And what I find really impressive is the fact that they've been able to get buy upon buy upon buy, even though they've been losing 4 rounds in a row. And they get themselves finally on the board here in the second half. Is that what it takes for them to push themselves forward and possibly get even closer to 16?
6 more to go for both teams. It's an equal scoreline. Seems like we're back on a 0-0 mark, but in fact we have played a long time already on Ancient. Both teams, of course, no home ground advantage, funny enough, as we are in fact in South America right now. Side of the globe basically, but still, players still holding on. Spitfire getting himself a double kill in the start of the round. The B side right opened up. Joshi gonna fall away, and Zephyr, he's stuck there, but at the same time, when the B side opened up like that, he has to rotate. He comes in, maybe a little bit late, even though. But does it really matter, right? You might be better off saving anyway. You're in an uncomfortable spot with your money, the easy. The fact that he's still going for this, I feel like is quite surprising, as I don't think there should be any way that you're gonna win this round. Blef is waiting on the edge of the smoke. A smoke that comes out of cave. They're actually still going for this, Titler. I can't believe it.
No way. But they might have found themselves a way back in, but they easily had to get that kill. Zephyr, this is so bold. This is way too bold for my liking. Your loss bonus isn't up.
Yeah.
And now, oh, you can get this defuse possibly. Taps it away. He has the kit, but never mind. Let's him to deny it finally. That was close. He could have possibly won that, and I would have had my mind completely blown off if he got in it.
1.9k loss bonus, Titler. I mean, and then you're not saving a FAMAS and an M4. Those are weapons that you can use in your eco, right? It's just, you're gonna have limited weapons anyway, so when you have that double rifle, there might still be a chance to pick some up, string some up. P90 is buying himself up some armor. If you find an AK, he can start to get initiated to especially get one of those AKs or a lovely op when Spitfire starts missing some shots. In fact, they're pushing B, which might work out as well. Oh, Spitfire's still there. Justy helps him out, backs him up. Still somewhat good. I might have spoken too soon, as Namibia has created an opportunity for themselves in round number 22.
They might have done so. Well, this round isn't over just yet, but Cassie might have secured it. Completely locked in now. Mango even has to get that bomb. It's completely in his control. And all Namibia have to do is kind of buy away some time. Make sure that they don't get that bomb. Just know where Mango is wherever you can, and that smoke is a complete waste because it doesn't land where it should have landed. Oh, but that's a fantastic shot to be hit. Oh, looks for another. Look at the HP. It was one bullet to separate both of them, but Namibia by fine margins once more are able to take that round by the skin of their teeth.
It is for sure that South Africa is getting tested here by Namibia, because they will in fact be leading themselves in towards a good buy now as well. Full buy versus full buy when we're once again tied up here, Titler. As close as it can be. As round number 23, the 33rd round will be starting off, but who will it be to come out victorious? Both teams on the edge of getting eco'd once more. Seems like ecos don't really seem to matter though for mainly Namibia. But if South Africa can do it, they put themselves once more in a comfortable spot. But if Namibia does it, maybe a third map is well on our way. Let's see how round number 22 or round 23 will unfold.
Yeah. Now these players up in cave are gonna get into a bit of a big battle. Does Pleb clear things out? There's been a lot of left side presence, so I don't know if he might expect him to be up on the sill here on the right side, but he's gonna check that angle first. Not even gonna find a single lick of damage. Now Joshi, you're gonna probably try pre-fire this. If he comes through, that flash is not gonna work, and it's actually a CT flash, so it does its job perfectly. And maybe off to the races. Oh no! Spitfire, what a wallbang that is! And it seems like he's activated something. That is unbelievable to get things underway. Again, a lot of these weird smokes being dropped throughout from both sides. More so South Africa. That smoke really landing right on top of the pillar. I don't know what that's meant to kind of cover. But oh, it's so close, but nowhere's able to find it. Now advantage found. Namibia looking to propel themselves forward into this round. A 4-on-2.
Wow, that's a good shot from Spitfire. As Alienation has been able to, of course, spot him out earlier. And after that, Spitfire was like, I'm gonna start firing him up, checking long and converting the frag. Now Aliation needs to be careful as he's still stuck on the side. Left it now. He's going towards the ramp, which is the accidentally play he should be making. The best play he can do. They're now out of it a little. Another smoke to try and be dropped up, and when that's still in the hands of Namibia, maybe you were better off just standing on the side. They will close it out. They will win the round. South Africa put back on the back foot now as Namibia takes back the lead in this game.
They're still able to get a buyout. South Africa, surprisingly, have been able to get a buy every single round here in the second half when they've been able to. Like, when was the last time you thought of them seeing the eco? It's
nowhere.
been unbelievable. Yeah, it's been unbelievable. Still having that AWP as well, and that Opper still has $1,000 left in his bank account. You have Mango left on 2.2k. They're going to be able to buy for days here, and even if they lose a few more, loss bonus is only just going to help them. This has been really good economy management. I feel like this has been the main sort of enemy of Namibia so far.
And South Africa is very happy that the loss bonus change came in, of course, a few years ago. Because previously, you completely dropped down to 1.4k every time you won a round. Now, it goes down with one little stairs each time, which still gave them a full buy opportunity now. So, a few years ago, we might have seen Namibia starting to unfold. Because really, that's an update that came through of just a few years ago. Unimaginable right now. We are starting to see a false play for South Africa coming in. And once again happy, but will they be happy after this round as well? As it might be a round where Namibia puts themselves so far ahead that it's impossible to recover. Joshi has all the plans though to find the first entry. A chance to go for a mid to A play, but instead of going donut, they're going to make their way into the window room, into the red side. A smoke up P90 here, but Aliation that still gets himself dropped. There's still a whole lot of chances. P90 pushed for the smoke, will be the one to drop. The bomb is moving to A, but are they gonna have enough time to get this blend in?
That's the question. A very difficult one indeed. They have to get themselves into this. And Zephyr might be the point man into this situation. He's able to find that kill, but they've wrapped around, taking him down from the temple side. Advantage now for the South African side as they've continued on here in their rampage. They have to get the bomb down, but there's still a player in Donut. Surprised that they aren't going to use a little bit more utility to deny things, but there goes that peak. It's so dangerous, but Spitfire is pushed up forward. It's up v up. Now it's wait for that smoke to dissipate. We'll see how this one happens. Spitfire playing. He is able to flick down now. The last player, his position is known. He's going to hide back into cover, run back in a dodge. Now the Easy has a very tall task ahead of him. He doesn't know where they are, but South Africa, another close round. And Spitfire, along with his teammates, able to hold things down. Him and Joshi standing up tall, and they take the round. Jesse, these teams have been so inseparable so far in Ancient. This second half, sure, 4 rounds on the spin for Namibia, but South Africa have been able to get important rounds of their own.
It's a loss bonus they have been able to grab. Titler, they continuously have buy after buy, and that's why they're able to stand tall the way they are. And that's how sometimes, how fragile the CT economy is and how dominant the T side can sometimes get when you're able to win these rounds. Otherwise, CSGO would be very CT-sided if the economy wasn't the way it was, of course. So, great job to developers, of course, for making such an insane game and making us be in a position like this. Flap able to grab himself the first Mango continuously. He's been able to find trades here and there, and in this game as well, pick up the frags that were so needed to be in a position of where they are. A V-play that comes out. Aliation needs to be careful as he has the bomb on his back. If they don't find themselves the kill on the side, he's stuck between a rock and a hard place. The bomb might be dropped and they might have more control than they want to. Nowhere. He's inside of the smoke but still gets burned. Ready to initiate the easy though, only 50. Unable to find the frag. Joshi misses an awkward spray. There's still chances for both of the teams there.
Still chances, but now Joshi has to get these kills. He has to hit his shots. And there goes that P250. The rotate away has to be here. And now that bomb is going to come down. But they're in the disadvantage. The HP is low on 2 of these players. But there is still a rifle that is looking extremely dangerous.
A rifle, but it didn't get over to Zephyr, which might be their biggest mistake they've ever made. He's the one trying to enter, but with 100 HP, you would rather want to send in a low HP player in my eyes. Although, with all the aim points coming in, that's not going to be hard. Nowhere falls. The money on top of that bomb site is going to take a lot of time away, considering they don't have a kit. It's going to be tough. They might want to run, and Zephyr has to run. Otherwise, this AK won't be used into this next half. The round is lost anyway, so better to run, better to hide, but it's unsuccessful as Spitfire is the one to go absolutely wild once more. They won't even die. More weapons taken. South Africa stands tall in this game as they're continuously able to find themselves lead after lead, and now just 3 away, Titler, from making us have our 2nd place in the group. It doesn't matter for the standings, but it's still fun for South Africa to make this win come through. But will they? As Namibia still gets themselves a full buy.
So getting themselves a full buy, but look at it, there's some concessions, lacking utility on some of the players. MP9s, Famas is being brought out. If South Africa are able to take this round, this will be the economy of Namibia in the dirt. 14-12, and then basically a free round possibly from there. Whether or not Namibia want to force or not, we might just see 15-12 on the cards. That is such a crucial round, but that MP9 has been so important, but the Easy has to get a kill there. 2 kills right back here for South Africa, and now they have the advantage, but there's a peek on through. Nowhere is taken. That aggressive maneuver has worked out. They're looking to get the trades early on, but there's only one player into the B side itself. They're too fixated on this mid player. They shouldn't focus on this mid player. They need to focus on the B bomb side. There's only one player there. And now tapping away. This will be a big battle, but Alienation still able to quench the player of Nowhere just in the mid side. And now this is looking good. They've rotated away to the A bomb side. Zephyr might be able to catch one. That's the bomb. He has to get back into safety, and he has gotten into safety. Smoke is going to be down to the CT side. Bomb's going to wrap back into that A main side. Bomb's gonna go down probably, and now South Africa in a retake, a post-plan situation versus the dying Namibia.
This bomb landed on the edge of the side as well. They're cutting it close, but no one from Namibia is whatsoever peeking. Just waiting for the time to tickle down. Smoke comes in. Cassie finds Plap on the cross. Mango looking in for some headshots, has a flash to still go for. A right side flash with a jump. I can't believe what I just saw, but he stays alive. Alienation still initiated. A double being to find round 14. And the economy Titler from Namibia is nowhere to be found. A lot of fans in the chat in absolute shambles as they hope for map 3, but their hopes and dreams are slowly diminishing.
Completely diminished. Look at this. If they go for the forest buy, they're going to be in with absolutely nothing, really, right? But then if they go for the eco, you're kind of just giving up 15 at the same time. And I feel like the best, option here is to go for the eco. It's so unrealistic to go for the forest buy. Even if you buy MP9s, you're not going to be able to get that. That's a stretch. You'll probably be getting deagles if you force into things. They're going to have to make a calculated half buy to make things work. But still, South Africa now looking good for a 15th. And it's looking very, very dire out here for the Namibians right now.
Come on, Namibia, step up. That's my good call, but potentially this round is definitely not looking likely after that. We have 3 rounds, easily 3 rounds, Hitler. Make us go to that third. Let this tournament stay a little bit longer, because this is the show match we've all been hoping for. And then to end it in a 2-0. At the same time, South Africa have played good today, so props for them for playing the way they have. They've really made this show match feel already very warming, instead of it being just a one-sided blowout. But still, if a third map, an Inferno, wouldn't be bad whatsoever. But I don't think, in all honesty, that is going to happen.
Doesn't look like it will be able to happen, but look at these positions so far from Namibia. They might be really good here for the off-angle positions. They're actually free-firing this player at the big boss, spamming away, not finding a single damn kill. Jesse, it's so difficult now for Namibia. 5-on-3, bomb out in half, but look at the support. Yeah, look at the support though. It doesn't really matter at the end of the day. It's only the pistols, and all 5 players stay alive. 3 match and series points for the 2nd place now for South Africa, and we might just see the end here of Namibia.
And what we saw there, Titler, as well, was, right, as you said it, the support has been great for South Africa. Because Namibia, they push through that smoke, and although 2 players for South Africa are jumping around like they're scared, they push through smokes, the video comms might, or the voice calls might be, but there's always 2 men still holding the line. And they're just helping each other out to indeed find those frags, and the support has been insane on those pushes. And They've really been pushing fast to certain sides, played that boogie style we're looking for. And it's Spitfire playing absolutely to his best once more. Once again fragging out. I still remember, and I think everyone can remember, unfortunately we do remember the worst moments sometimes from players where he has been missing like multiple shots, 5 or 6 in total in one singular round, not able to get a single thing done. But he is now on 27. Where is that Spitfire? Namibia needs it, but I don't think South Africa is going to allow that Spitfire to once again unravel, as he's been absolutely insane on the triggers.
See this round again, finish onto the A bomb site. A very unique play set out from South Africa, leaning away from the same old meta of the B bomb site. The kill is there, the Molotov to finish him off. This might be curtains out here. South Africa, it's so good out from them in these final few rounds, finding what they needed, breaking the ice completely. A 2-on-5 situation, a re-smoke down. Pleb should be able to get this. Now it's only just 1 up against 5. Cassie up against the world. And this is a done deal. That's it. Done and dusted. South Africa taking the series 2-0 to take second place here.
Second place in the tournament indeed. And so, 16-12. What a way to finish it as well. And at the same time, people in the chat, a lot of them were fans of Namibia. They really wanted their country to come through, but at the same time, I think they can be very happy. For me, still very unknown players, like everyone here, of course, but they've shown us a great piece of Counter-Strike, and for the fact that yesterday they played well against Mauritius or Mirage, then Overpass was a big blowout. Now considering 2 new maps to come in, Mirage immediately banned out because South Africa was real scared. We might not have seen the fear in their eyes, but I think if we did see player camps, we would have seen it after that map veto, or if we would have gone to Mirage. But the fact that you're taking, I think, 10 rounds on Vertigo and 12 on a map like Ancient against what looks like a more structured team. South Africa have been possibly longer together, have played more events together than, for example, in Namibia. That's insanity, and they can be very proud of it.
Yeah, and another thing that some of these teams could be proud of is I feel Mauritius as well, being such a small island with a population of just over 1 million. I was wondering about their ping in the server, but they have been so good, you know, those players being on the teams as well. And yeah, that's just basically it. It was pretty good out from them. I'm really impressed by Mauritius. I didn't expect them. They were the first name on my mind. Because when you're thinking South Africa, there's loads of names that you can think of. You have your Sonic, you have your JT, building up a lot of talent. You have, you know, the Bravado guys who went over to Katowice to compete. You know, they've built a lot of talent. You'd be thinking first in your mind, South Africa surely will be winning this qualifier. But Mauritius to go through, dominating both South Africa and Namibia, pretty impressive. And I feel like the standings speak for themselves. You know, South Africa just been well better than Namibia today. And then Mauritius just above all.
Yeah, South Africa have a whole ESEA circuit, right? There's a whole lot of teams. When you're thinking about Bravado, you're also thinking of Nixu and players like Black Poison as well, right? One of those names, very famous in the scene of South Africa. But yeah, they're bringing up a different team. They have played together before in some events, but when they played on LAN, they won versus Bangladesh, I think, and then after that they got thrown off by Spain and one other team with 16-6, 16-2. So yeah, hopefully Mauritius is able to do some more. And one thing I still want to mention, because I've already said this to Stromis, but I really do like, because such a small island, as you said, I googled it, 950 square kilometers. You said it, 1 million population only, even though for such a small island, 1 million, they must be fitting people somewhere where my country can still learn some from, as we're also pretty small here in the Netherlands. But at the same time, it really became an esports country for some reason, because they also have a PUBG team. I think they also have teams from all other kind of tournaments that we have right here. And considering then with 1 million people, you're able to be the best of the whole South African. This is an island that is maybe becoming an esports island, like for example Malta is, right, with the whole esports game arena on there. There is maybe the government involved into making esports a real thing, supporting esports, and that's great to know, and that's very great for that region and for South Africa as of a whole themselves.
Yeah, and I don't even think that the government's involved into this, because if I'm looking at the Southern Africa qualifier, you know, Namibia had the Namibian selection chosen by the Esports Federation, and then the South African team was, you know, picked by the South African selection. Just like in a basketball team, you kind of have them selecting. But Mauritius went through for the qualifiers. These players are in a team themselves. these guys in the team themselves, it's not like it's the federation, it's not like the government are picking these players. They qualified, they worked their way to the top here, and they've proven it. And that's what I feel is so impressive. They really haven't had too much backing, but now that they're heading to that land final, makes it all the more impressive.
Yeah, but at the same time, I feel like, with the selection not coming in, that's a sure thing, right? Maybe in that sense, not the case, but at least some stimulation for such a small island to have such big esports. There must be something right under this, because otherwise you're not going to get yourself into esports too much. And now being given an opportunity, there's a whole lot of other countries that could have gotten an opportunity, but Mauritius is one of them getting the chance. So we don't know, of course, but it's great to see, considering we only have 50 FACEIT players, to have a qualifier. I think it consisted of 2 teams only. Once I looked at the Twitter, of course, but they were happy. They were at LAN, and that's all that matters, right? And that means we're happy as well.
Yeah, it's just, yeah, like we were saying, them getting to LAN is huge, and it only just boosts that, their economy as well. Getting a bit of their name out there. Like, who would have expected Mauritius to be in this qualifier? You'd have thought of some other countries to compete in the Southern African region. South Africa definitely being a name up there, and like we were saying, the team to possibly win things as people would have been expecting, but that wasn't the case. They won it out. It's going to be really important for them. Pretty impressive, and yeah, it just closes things out. And I like how cutthroat it was. Mauritius got to play Namibia and South Africa. They were going to play each other, at least once, and it being all best of threes makes it pretty much nicer as well. And then South Africa in the end, all 2-0s at the end, but yeah, that's just how it is. And that's basically us done here for the South African qualifier. Nothing much more to say. Commiserations to the other teams, but I feel like we have to commend South Africa still giving in, I believe, 100%, even though they were already out of this. Like you said, it's essentially a show match at this point.
Yeah, and what I do really like, before we're going to drop it back to the studio, of course, because the highlights are in fact done. But yeah, the fact that I don't know how that's obviously going to be necessarily, or how it was in fact involved, but by the looks of how the group has been formatted, the fact that we see Mauritius playing straight off the bat versus South Africa, and then Namibia having the final match versus South Africa, and South Africa being the main team to, for example, or in general, the main team to be looking the best for the competition, they've overstepped it, because Namibia should then be like the second team. Mauritius has played the first game, maybe lost that on paper versus South Africa. That would mean Namibia and South Africa would be the finals. That's the final game. But now it was a match, just a show match, because Mauritius overstepped everyone's expectations. But Titler, do you have any final words before we drop it into the studio?
Nothing much more to say. I think we just summed it up in those last 5 minutes, and it's been a pleasure to be on here once more, just adding another region to the tally. But yeah, that's us done here for the Southern African qualifier. It's been a pleasure to be on here, and we're gonna head into the studio now, where he will break down the rest of the action.
Thank you very much, guys, and also welcome to our last entry of the World Esports Championship 2023 Africa Regional Qualifier. South Africa was able to do it and take also Namibia on their own map pick. 16-12 on Ancient, before that 16-10 onto the Vertigo, and there is the final scoreline, which means Mauritius coming up into the main stage of the tournament from the first place, South Africa placing in the second spot, and Namibia on the third spot without any map win. Unfortunately for them, none of these teams, I mean the South Africa or Namibia, will be able to qualify, but once again, big congrats on the Mauritius side. We had an amazing tournament, I think, from the Southern Africa region, but also from the Northern Africa, where we saw Tunisia and Algeria coming up to the main stage of the tournament. Because this is our last entry of this World Esports Championships 2023 Africa Regional Qualifier, I would like to thank you guys for watching and yeah, just seeing all these beautiful matchups that we saw in this qualifier. Also, I would like to thank our casters who guide us not only with the CSGO, male or female, but also with PUBG Mobile and Dota 2 tournaments. And also, I would like to thank our special production that provide these matchups for you guys. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope you will watch also the World Esports Championship 2023 main tournament. I can only invite you to watch that tournament as well. And yeah, that's it for today, guys. And from the World Esports Championship 2023 Africa Regional Qualifier, thank you for watching.
Gotta find my way to you.
Ain't no love like a real love, but it goes so fast. All tied up like a captive.